Hello.
Yeah, great.
Meeting of the September 8th, 2025 Downtown Development Authority meeting will now come to order. Liliana?
Jim Knight,
Present.
Jill Gualiardi,
Present.
Anthony Barber,
Present.
Aaron Burton,
Present.
Brian Rosen,
Present.
Alan Costello,
Here.
Cole Davids,
Present.
and Mayor Tom Carney is always with us.
Did he say present?
Yes.
Yes. I said present.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
Sorry, I was waiting for you to say present.
We have said here.
First, we have to approve the agenda.
Right.
We have a few changes, right?
Yes, Mr. Chair, if you don't mind, I'd like to remove agenda item 5A from the agenda. It's currently under further advisement based on some of the different changes with how we're doing the budget. So I want to have more time to review that with you all. So we want to move that from the agenda.
Remove it entirely?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The
Without
other
objection, remove 5A? Okay.
All right. The other change I want to ask to be made right now is to move item 5C to the last item under old business. So it'll be the new 5A will be the monthly financials as of right now. 5B will be the parking discussion. 5E will be the officer nomination, and 5D will be the DDA Old School Square program updates for August and
You said it
upcoming.
wrong, but we got it.
Yep.
Okay. Does anyone else have a change? Guys, if you want, I would happily allow currently 5E, now 5D, to be, or is it 5C? Now 5C. DDA officer nominations. I'd like to nominate Jim Knight to take over my position. And if you guys want, we could do the vote right now. And then the new president, the new chair would take over.
First, right?
Yeah,
Is there a problem with that?
there's not a problem, but you'll approve the agenda, and then we'll move it up from 5C to or 5D up until.
It's actually 5C. 5C would
After
then
public
be.
comment, is that when you want to do
Yeah,
it, or before public
sure.
comment? After public
Public.
comment.
After public comments. Is that okay with everybody on the board? Okay, then that's what we're going to do.
All right, thank you,
Then
sir.
that moves 5C to
3A.
3A. Okay,
I know, exactly.
well, we're going to,
Should we review the agenda?
we'll tell you when it's time.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as it changes.
I'd like to second that motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All opposed? All right,
Thank you, sir. We're ready
Thank
for
you,
public
everyone.
comment.
okay. Public comments, 3 minutes?
Yes.
Yes, for 3 minutes. If you all step up to the front, please. Say your
Hello.
name and address for the record.
Name is Marty Doro, 236 Southeast 5th Avenue. Good to see everyone. My comments today are regarding the position or the bylaw changes or potential bylaw changes. I am requesting that the bylaw change to remove the opportunity for the mayor or his or her designate to participate as an ex officio member not be changed, to allow that person, whoever he or she may be, to participate as they are interested to do. I think it's too bad previous mayors did not participate or take advantage of that. It would help the relationship, I think, between the DDA and the commission, and I think it would benefit all citizens. On the other side, I think it would look terrible in the press if we changed our bylaws to remove that opportunity. I think the city of Delray Beach has too many opinions, op-eds in the paper about things that distract us from achieving our goals. We love Delray Beach. You're all volunteers. You love Delray Beach. I want to do everything we can to maintain our positive public image. Actually, I like to improve our positive public image and make it better. And I think by removing the opportunity for the mayor to participate, will be written up extensively in the publications, and it won't be done well. So I wish you would all consider that as you move forward. Thank you.
Is it that,
That's been removed from today's, but
right,
the
but
comment
have we
is
set a time when it's coming back?
no.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Stephanie Immelman from the Delray Beach Chamber. I wanted to let you know that October is Do Good Delray Month, and that's where we take a business and we partner them with a nonprofit partner, and together they create fundraising events for the nonprofits throughout the month of October. This is our 5th year. In the past 4 years, we've raised over $275,000 for our local nonprofits, and we really feel that supporting the nonprofits uplifts our whole community. So I'm going to encourage you and challenge you to take a look at the schedule and pick one event to go to throughout the month of October and support our nonprofits. Also, I'm glad you've got parking on the agenda today. We are also concerned with the changes to the parking. We advocated to please keep the garages free, mainly for the daytime commerce that we have. So we're worried that charging in the garages, even a small amount, is not only going to hurt the merchants, but it's going to hurt the service businesses like real estate, attorneys, accountants, etc. So we're going to keep an eye on this over the next 6 months while the city's implementing this, and we'll definitely report back to you and the city commission on what we find out from our members.
Stephanie, can we work together for that?
Yes.
Because we've of course made similar requests to the city for changes, and I know the city's moving on in one direction or another. Some of the stuff is great. Some of the stuff we think we could improve on, and perhaps together we could really do it.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Just yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that was one of our suggestions too, was the free parking garages as part of the.
It was one of ours. Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's something
Ours as
we
well.
can look for.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
your partner. We'll be happy to do
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rob Walsh. I'm the CEO and president of a company called International Materials Incorporated. We are housed in the 3rd floor of the 4th and 5th Delray building, the IPIC building. Our company is a 25% owner of that building. We are a commodities trading firm. Our company generates close to $4 billion with a B, $4 billion in revenue. We're probably one of the largest, if not the largest, firms here in Delray Beach. I'm up here just to give a little endorsement and talk about my experience in a very short period of time as a new member here in Delray Beach. We moved here in 2019. Laura and team at the DDA were critical to our relocation efforts. We came here from Boca Raton. We were searching for a new place to put our headquarters. We have 80 people in our firm here, 200 people, 175 people globally. But Laura and the DDA's efforts to welcome us here help us understand the actions and strategies that the DDA has to enrich and enhance the overall Delray Beach experience was critical to us making a decision to relocate here. What's number one important for me is the safety and well-being of my employees. So 80 people are going to lunch, dinner, entertaining constantly. The public ambassadors, the Savor the Ave, all of the events that the DDA puts on allow us to have a full experience and continue to attract top-level employees to Delray Beach. Without that, we certainly would struggle to compete on a global scale. So I just wanted to say thank you to the DDA and thank you to Laura. I believe 70% of the DDA budget is generated from businesses, not from individuals, not from homeowners. And so I think our voice needs to be heard in this regard. I'm happy to answer any questions in more detail to talk about our experiences. But Mayor, with all due respect, I watched the last hearing and I felt like a lot of the issues that were being highlighted were, hundreds of dollars here and there. And so I thought it was a little bit, I thought the conversation devolved very quickly into something that was less than becoming, let's say. So I know the audit is ongoing. I think that's a great idea. But I would encourage all of us to keep sort of a higher elevation view of what the DDA does and really the impact that they have on the city to companies and individuals like me. All right, thank you very much.
Excuse me,
Thank you
before
very
you,
much.
Appreciate the work.
Mr. Chair, before you step down, just curious, why did you leave Boca?
We left Boca for exactly the reasons that I mentioned. We didn't feel like we could offer our employees a kind of community feel where they could have the luxury of going to lunch. As I said, we're in the IPIC building. So giving our employees the luxury of walking out their front door, going to lunch. We have clients coming in, many of them overseas clients, daily. We're entertaining constantly out of that building. We could not find a similar experience in Boca Raton where you can walk out of your door and have an Atlantic Avenue-like experience. It is second to none. I travel constantly. I'm around the world. I've been everywhere. I can't name a place like Atlantic Avenue where you can go out and feel the vibe, feel the energy, feel the cleanliness, feel the security, feel the safety, feel the sense of purpose, the sense of home, the sense of belonging, the sense of ownership in the businesses. The businesses, I know a lot of the business owners around me, obviously, since we've been here for 6 years, I've gotten to know them. They own it like they own the city. I mean, there's a connectivity to it. There's a fabric to Delray Beach. That does not occur by accident. That occurs because of individual acts of greatness like the ones performed by the DDA. And so we can talk about high-level policy. We can talk about $600
I was just curious
holiday
what
parties.
brought you here. So we could go on forever, I'm sure.
All right. So there you
I actually want to just make a comment to you before you leave. I'm also a Delray Beach business owner. And I mentioned to Laura just this past week, I'm doing a home in Pinecrest in Miami. And it's like it's above 10 million for an interior design job. And she came with her husband and a girlfriend of hers to our opening at our office at 111 First, because we're at that building. Anyway, they had such a good time, and they'd never been to Delray before, and they're from Seattle, Washington. And so they ended up going out on the avenue after, and it turns out that they're now selling the house, and they're buying a $10 million house here in Delray, and they want us to design that one as well. And they're super excited because they said that they hadn't found a town in Florida, and they're coming from Miami, that they felt had such good energy and had such an all-inclusive, really just fun vibe where everybody was very positive and there was so much happening. So I have the same kind of great feedback, which is wonderful.
Amen. I'm going to reinforce cleanliness and safety. I think it's something that gets overlooked with the DDA, but cleanliness and safety, I think, are critical to the overall downtown experience, and I think the DDA nails it. So thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your work.
Good evening, Chair and Board. I'm Mavis Benson, and I'd like to follow up a little bit with what was just said. With 70% of our income coming from commercial properties. And many of us know, as I do, even though I'm on a smaller scale, I know that a portion of my rent and my CAM went directly to my landlord in paying for these ad valorem taxes. And I know what it did for me. And at last week's commission meeting, a lot of our businesses were there, and they said, I'd gladly pay more. So it is a trickle-down effect. Ultimately, some of us are paying those taxes, even though we're not writing the check out ourselves, but we are. So when they say they would gladly pay more for the services and the benefits and everything they got, they spoke from the heart. And I know they meant it, and I meant it when I was a business as well. I wanted to share with you also that we did have a merchant meeting last Friday morning. We had probably 25 to 30 businesses there. Several of them were new businesses and some were existing businesses. The new ones were thrilled with what the DDA had been doing to help them get their businesses up and running, and looking forward to all the programs in which they were going to be able to be involved. And existing businesses as well were saying the same thing. Sharing with the new businesses, what's ahead of them, what they know they can count on over the years. So I just wanted you as a board to know that you should feel good about yourself because you helped to direct the DDA team under Laura with her amazing team in what they do. So it's a good reflection that your job and their job is being done. We did have the presentation for the proposed parking permit for the employees. It had lots of good conversation and comments. I feel that this is one that we can really get the employees to get on board with. I hope we can. I don't know how many more times we'll have the opportunity to be involved in the decision making or the contribution to the conversation. So that's something I hope we can all get behind and really get that up and going. Well, it's supposed to start October 1st. So continued work, the good work of you as a board. We did have 3 older board members that spoke last Wednesday night. So what you do while you're here now, do it so that you'll be proud in years to come, as Peter Arts and Albert Richwagon and myself as old board members came up to attest to what we did and what you're doing and how you're doing. Make yourself proud. Thanks.
Thanks, Mavis.
Thank you.
Mavis, thanks for the business meeting. The merchants meeting, it was a great job.
Thank you.
Well, it was also great because Suzanne had a great presentation and Laura did a great job too. But yes, and I'm giving it to you. Thank you. Are there any other public? There we are.
Hi, I'm Tori Shields. I work at International Materials. So when we moved our office here, I was hired as the Activities Health and Wellness Coordinator. I have a really fun job. It's making our employees happy, so I thought I would just go off of what Rob was saying. But when we first moved here, Laura came to our office. My friend Kelly actually worked for the DDA, so that's how I kind of heard about them. But they have sponsorship levels, so we've been a premier partner sponsorship level, which is the highest you can give. I'm sure if she had a sponsorship level higher, we'd pay that too, because that's how strong we believe in what
We can create that.
yeah. We just love them. So, and anything like, even beach keepers, which is the local cleanup crew, our company also started a foundation. So I love what the chamber's doing with partnering with foundations. I think that's amazing. But my go-to in town is Laura, as far as what we can do to help the city and what needs to be done. So our partnership's critical and we love her. I want to also just make a comment about parking because I know it's on the agenda. Our building is one of the buildings with free parking before 4 and free on Sundays, which is huge, huge, huge. Please don't change that and make it charging. We used to have a gate in our parking garage, which was a hassle, which I'm glad they got rid of the gate. But all my friends, we dine downtown. We all live in Lake Ida, and we love this. We love downtown Delray. People, they move from other cities. You couldn't even ask me last time I went to Miami. We don't go to Miami. We go out in downtown Delray. The restaurants are coming. It's the best city ever. But we have to keep some free parking because that really is the biggest complaint of the city, of all the residents. I think there's luxury of having valet, we use that sometimes, but knowing the spots, us residents know where all the free garages are and utilizing that. If I need to pick up a candle for a gift, I'm going to Blue Mercury and getting a Nest candle. I'm running in. I put my hazards on because I refuse to pay $3 for an hour to go support a local business, which we all want to support local. So keeping a few free parking areas, I think, is huge. I just want to say that. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other public comments? Okay, public comments are closed. Now we're on to the vote.
Yes.
So, Jim? Item 3A. Yeah, item 3A is nominations are open. Will you consider a nomination to be chair?
Did not expect it coming here, but I'm honored and would be happy to serve.
Thank you. That's my nomination.
Are there any other nominations? For the chair?
Does that make the vote easy or not?
It does make it easier if there's no other nominations. Going once. Any other nominations?
Okay.
All right.
Then,
Congratulations.
Well, we still have to vote.
We still have to vote.
Yeah.
We still have to vote. So, will someone make a motion?
I'd make a motion to have Jim be our new chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Guess what? Guess what?
Are you able to?
Just pass the gavel. Just pass the gavel.
Just pass the gavel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just had surgery, so.
It's
Yeah,
your
don't
seat
make
when
Jim
you want
get
it.
up. He's like, please, I got here early so I can sit down. There you go. All right. right.
Congratulations.
I don't have a camera on him.
All right, Jim, I'll let you take over from here, but we need to nominate the vice chair, secretary, and treasurer as well.
Do I have a nomination for vice chair?
I'll nominate myself for vice chair.
I'd like to make a motion that we can we do all of them at the end?
I don't understand the question.
Can we make one motion to confirm all of the nominations at the end, or we have to do individually?
Yeah, because there may be multiple people running for vice chair. I know it might be highly contested.
Can we?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Is
Go
it
ahead.
okay if I speak? Thank
Yes,
you.
please.
I'll get used to it. Well, just because Brian nominated himself, maybe someone else would like to nominate themselves. I think that's how we ended up last time. So if anyone wants to nominate themselves, that's all I was going to say.
It's already been seconded, though.
Yeah, you can still have further nominations.
There you go.
I'm not hearing any.
Roll
though.
call.
Any last nominations for vice chair? All right, there's a motion and a second to re-elect.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed.
And treasurer.
Congratulations.
We have any nominations for treasurer?
I'm currently secretary. I'm happy to do it if.
Jim was the current treasurer, so we'll have to have a new individual.
More liability.
He's not accepting the nomination.
I don't want to be anything. I want to be a visitor.
We have to have someone.
I'm not good at it.
We can have. You can nominate
Have a
someone.
Vice president, treasurer, one who. Can someone be two positions?
No.
You can nominate someone.
Come on, guys. Let's and ladies. I'm sorry.
We have the three people that don't feel comfortable in the numbers game that are left over.
You'll have a lot of help.
Of every single meeting that I've been part of, Brian Rosen has had questions about our budget, about our numbers, and he seems to be the only one who really has total control of it. I'd love to see him handle both jobs.
Far from total control, not able to do both jobs. Currently vice chair. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll continue to look at the budget numbers.
Is there?
Yes.
Are there
I don't have to be
anyone
the treasurer.
want to
nominate
nominate?
Cole.
Cole.
If someone
Volunteer.
wants to nominate me, I don't know if I'm going to
I'll
nominate
nominate
myself.
Cole.
All right, there's a nomination for Cole, and there's a second. I don't think there's going to be any other nominations based on the
All in
prior
favor?
discussion.
Aye.
All right, congratulations, Cole.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cole.
All right, one more to go, secretary. Any nominations for secretary?
Jewel.
Jewel.
Okay.
All right.
Is
Oh,
there
and
a
you got a
second?
siren for that.
Oh,
See, there's a
Any
confirmation.
other nominations?
any other nominations for secretary?
I second.
All right,
All in favor?
Nice.
Aye.
all right. Thank you.
Very good.
All right, so that brings us to past public comments, development projects, no items to be presented. Is that still accurate?
That is still accurate, yes.
Okay. And you shifted things around, which I did not pay attention to very
I know.
closely.
Or
4A
I did take a note.
4A
is
is
still-
4A, okay.
The shift came under number
Yeah, on the other
5.
page. So 4A, the DDA Art and Activations, Grant Request, Space of Mind, Annual Haunted House, and Block Party.
Yes. So this is just for the board. I'll just introduce this item. This is part of the Downtown Development Authority's Placemaking and Art and Activation Grant, which was implemented and put together back in 2021. And currently is still active. We do have funds still available in our in that line item of our budget. So we've reviewed the grant, but if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and give a little overview of the program for the board.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Sandy Haygood here on behalf of Space of Mind and Community Classroom Project. It is proudly my third year there. This is my third Something Scary event, which is the event that we're talking about here. My first time presenting it to all of you lovely people, though. So I just have a few talking points. I don't know if I'm on a timer or anything like that. I'll try to keep it short. So the event is actually part of the Do Good Delray. So we are partnered with a profit business, ATI Restoration, with Adam Eckstein. Wonderful supporter of our cause and really aligned values on education for neurodivergent students. But this event is on October 24th. We're doing a block party closing down between us and Dada, and the theme is Renaissance Scare. It's free, it's family friendly, open to everyone in the public. We're hoping for 400 to 500 community members this year. It has grown each time, and it is a tradition for sure. We have a lot of repeat visitors. But our goal is to always keep expanding and get some new faces in there. So community benefits in alignment with DDA goals definitely activates a less utilized area of the downtown outside of Atlantic. We see Atlantic from our block, and we want some of that happening party to walk our way. It is a safe, inclusive, and accessible space for families from all backgrounds. It is student-led, student-designed. The haunted house is part of their curriculum, and so they design the whole thing, act in it. All of that is all student-based, and they're getting real-world experience from the business aspect and real-world project experience, watching the whole thing come to fruition. We are going to engage at least 5 local vendors and merchants and 4 nonprofit partners, boosting business visibility and foot traffic. Our partners right now are, like I said, ATI Restoration is our big one. We're still looking for sponsors. We have partnered with the Achievement Centers, having their step team and hopefully drumline perform, the Central Perk Taekwondo. We just want all these programs to be able to perform, highlight their programs as well. So we will continue that. Budgeting last year, it was approximately $16,000 was our budget at the end of the day, and we are requesting $2,000 from the DDA to help cover part of event costs. These funds will directly support the infrastructure like lighting, supplies, decorations, rentals, permits, security, things like that. The balance that will be raised through scholarships, in-kind support, and event proceeds. The revenue will be donated to the CCP Community Classroom Project, supporting scholarships for local youth to access programs like culinary, music, STEM, and the arts. Local impact, we create revenue and visibility for participating vendors and increasing traffic to nearby businesses. Youth empowerment, for sure. The students gain leadership, collaboration, and creative problem-solving skills. And we are building bridges between our residents, our nonprofits, our businesses, and local artists. In closing, this is more than just a holiday event. It's our educational, cultural, and economic activation that benefits our young people with the wider downtown community. Thank you so much for your consideration and your support. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Board members, any comments?
Is there a line item in our budget for what we were giving out?
Yes, it's in the first part of the financials on the section A.
Okay.
It's listed as under the grant program. So it's item line, hold on.
Oh, it's missing.
21?
Yep,
What it is?
line 821. Yep.
Okay.
So we forecasted 18,000 in there.
And how much have we spent?
We've only spent, should be there. Oops, sorry. I think 6,000.
Okay.
That's why it said the funds are available for this. So.
I'll say I got a couple.
Brian,
things to
please.
share. One, big fan of what you guys are doing in the facility. You know, it's right in our downtown. It's right across from Old School Square. You know, this is a non-for-profit.
Just use
This
the
doesn't-
microphone, sorry.
This is a non-for-profit. It does touch a lot of kids in a very positive way in this community. Again, they're working with the chamber as well, and I'm all about having everyone kind of come together, you know, on things instead of everyone doing things in like a siloed manner. So, kudos to you connecting with the chamber, making it part of this program they're doing. it's family friendly event, student led, and again, this is something for me that it's bringing the traffic to other parts of our downtown. It's working with great partners such as the Chamber and, local businesses that are very visible in our downtown and address kids. So for me, it's a no-brainer, and I'm in support of the $2,000 grant.
Thank you, thank you.
Any other comments?
I'm all for it. I think it's great. I think what you're doing is wonderful, so I'm all for it too.
Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed $2,000 grant for the activation for the classroom kitchens project.
Community classroom project.
Community classroom project.
Do we want roll call or?
We have to get a second.
Oh, I thought we had. I'm sorry.
Aaron, second?
I'll second.
Jim Knight,
Yes.
Jill Gualdardi,
Yes.
Anthony Barber,
Yes.
Arnaldi Barton,
Yes.
Brian Rosen,
Yes.
Alan Costello,
Yes.
Cole Davids.
Yes.
Show the motion passes unanimously.
Technically, this is a West Atlantic property. Are you in Swinton? Are you in Swinton or Atlantic?
Yes.
All right, you're in
Yeah.
Swinton, but the property's in Swinton.
West, yeah.
At least we're bringing it.
West side is Winton, yeah. Great.
And that brings us to the next item here, which is
4B.
4B.
So this is a Old School Square venue fee waiver request from the Club Del Rey. And Josh is here to introduce the item. This is a new event for Old School Square.
How's it going, y'all? Josh Brahmi. Address is 1465 Masters Circle. So the Club Del Rey, we're a health and wellness group that brings together the community to do workouts, cold plunges, saunas, community building, and include a lot of local wellness vendors and restaurants. Typically, we do a ticketed event, and that's kind of the source of revenue. It is not my full-time job. I kind of do this as a passion project, so there's very, very slim margins. But we decided we wanted to make this a free event for the city, and we're hoping to get 500 plus people to Old School Square. It'll bring a ton of traffic to downtown the day of, and it includes a lot of the local vendors and restaurants. We were hoping to have the fee to be waived for renting Old School Square. We're requesting vendor fees, which will just pretty much cover the cost of the event. And any additional proceeds, so any profits, 100% of it will be donated to first responders. So the last free event we did, we donated everything to the Delray Beach Fire Benevolent Fund.
And what was
That's
that
really
donation
nice.
amount that you donated last night?
It was $300.
Is this connected to the same lenses? Like
Yes.
The Club Palm Beach and all that?
Yes.
Okay. So are y'all planning on doing time after time after time in Delray, like you guys do in Palm Beach or not?
So we've done it at ATHA before, and we have
Yeah, I heard about
events
that.
scheduled for October, November, and December at ATHA.
Okay.
I would love to make this a quarterly event. I don't want to step on the Cocoa Market, which is incredible. It's a little different vibe, but I don't kind of want to just overstep what's happening there. But I would love to do this as like a seasonal event.
Do they pay at the Cove to have it at the Cove up in Palm Beach, or do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you think, question for you, do you think the fee of $4,000 for the Old School Square campus is a high fee?
Compared to everywhere we pay, it's more than double. So the last event we did was at Replay Club in Boynton, and it was $1,500. But we're also ticketing anywhere from $25 to $35 for the Cove Club up in West Palm.
Yeah.
Those go for $40 to $50. I don't deal with Palm Beach at all. I own the cold plunges, so I bring them to those events, and I help set up. But I don't schedule any of the things that happen up there.
Yeah, my only thing is, when looking at this stuff, we really, everyone's looking at our budget. We're in charge of Old School Square. I think $4,000 for that campus in front of the amphitheater, like right there, is like a steal. And again, when it's focused on local non-for-profits or a number of local organizations are working together to do something, I'm really for it. I almost think it makes more sense to maybe work with local gyms or clubs and other stuff to do stuff to maybe help their businesses. And again, that falls in line with what the DDA wants to do. I'm just not sure I'm comfortable, again, because it's our time. We clean up, we set up, staff. Again, I think the $4,000 is a pretty fair number, but I'm just not really comfortable, especially, I just found out our budget's $100,000 less recently than where I thought it was. So I'm really sensitive to the Old School Square, numbers, and I just want to find ways for you to find ways to be able to charge for tickets and make it profitable for yourself, and then also generate action for the community. But
the profit for me, I don't care about the profit. I'm just trying to not lose as much money as possible.
Same here. Yeah, we're on the same. We're kind of the same way, so we're just trying not to lose the money.
Exactly.
And there's a cost.
Any of those costs associated with cleaning up and setting up, we take care of those because we have people who do that at all of our other events.
But we're in charge of the property. It doesn't work like that. But anyways, I'll let some other board members speak.
Any other comments, please?
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you. So, the event is non-ticketed, right?
It's non-ticketed, correct.
And do you have like any outside vendors coming in?
So we have about like 20-ish vendors. Most of them are local, and they're all paying a $200 vendor fee.
Okay.
Which it's around $4,000 give or take, because some they're small. They're too small to afford the $200.
Okay.
So that kind of covers the cost of the event, putting it on, the ice, having staff, bringing the trash cans, cleaning up. We have like photographers and videographers that send out the pictures and videos to people afterwards, which accumulates to around $3,500.
Okay.
So each of the vendors is paying that fee, but then other than that, we're not bringing in money any other way besides saying, hey, it's also donation based to help cover the cost of the events. Any money in addition, any profits, 100% goes to first responders.
Do you have any outside sponsors or people, big name or larger name sponsors?
The goal is in the future to have that and kind of show proof of concept that we can do this, which is why, regardless, it's a terrible business decision to explain this right now, but regardless, I'm really excited about having this event because I think it's going to be incredible for the city, and that this is something we can do on a go-forward basis and will be just an overall amazing experience.
Let me ask you one last question. In regards to marketing your event, how much in your budget do you know that you've allocated towards marketing the event towards, the people that you want to come out and visit?
Yeah, it's about $250, and it's mostly just ads on social media, which is how we typically do it. The last free event, we really didn't need to market it that much because we had a capacity, and we hit that capacity pretty quickly. But since Old School Square is a little bigger, we're going to push a little more towards advertising to get as many people that haven't heard about the event out as possible.
So with the 500 people that you anticipate being the max number, right? What are you providing as?
Yes, so we'll have.
No. As far as just keeping those people safe, are you providing any bag checks on your own things that so? Okay, thank you.
I just want to jump in. I was actually one of the people that received your advertising. So you reached me.
Amazing.
So there's that. But one of the things that you had said is you have paid to do this at other locations. So, it's not that we want to discourage you from doing it. We also it's hard for us to say, okay, because of the nature of, your reach with local and not, and doing it in other locations, it's hard for us to just give it away. But if there were a reduction in the fee, would you be opposed to that?
No, and any reduction of the fee would be a help. And the reason why I'm trying as much as possible is because we're making this free, so there is no other source of revenue.
Al?
Thank you. It's our job to grow the culture at the Old School Square, and bringing in new events and hopefully new events that repeat is a really positive thing. I also respect Alex, our coordinator, Alex McCoy, not Cosenza anymore, at her request for a reduction in the rate to 50%. and then we can revisit it at your next meeting. If indeed it's better and bigger and stronger, then maybe next time we can raise the funds a little bit. But ultimately, we're not looking to be profitable. We're looking to build the culture, and we're looking to build the business and expand it. And so I'm all for new events, and I think giving them a break to get them started is justified.
Aaron, any comments?
I have a couple follow-up if that's okay, Chair.
Please.
So I know the kid who started this up in Palm Beach, and they have really, really solid following. All their events are packed out. But I'm just wondering, will this turn into a ticketed event down the road, or is there any reason why it wouldn't be a ticketed event down the road?
Potentially, I don't want to say no.
Yeah.
We have our other ticketed events, like the one's going to be at AFA. I would love if we can make this a consistent free event. I work full time and make money from other sources, and I don't need to generate money from this. I'd love giving back to Delray. As you were mentioning earlier, Delray is an amazing city, and I love living here. So anything I could do to give back to the community.
Yeah, I mean they've grown from West Palm to Fort Lauderdale to Tampa, maybe.
Yep.
I mean they're put on pretty significant shows all over Florida, and they have a very good following. And it's a young, fit crowd that comes into town.
That's great.
But I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be ticketed down the road if everywhere else is still filling up ticketed.
We could ticket it as well with something we could get together. I just love the idea of just making it free, because it's just, there are a lot of people who just see a price tag and immediately say no, especially if they've
free.
never
You just
been.
have to pay the $4,000 rental fee. It's like there's no reason it can't be free. You can't do that. But we, as the city,
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying there's a huge
and the DDA really and.
Hey Cole, can I ask you
and
this?
This by the way is an old school square funding mechanism. This isn't like a activation grant like we were just looking
Correct.
at. This is
Two
like
different
a totally
things.
different.
Right.
So, and I was kind of following your path in a way with the same thoughts, and I'm sorry, Brian, but
No problem.
what I was thinking was, at first when I heard 50%, initially I said, well, maybe a reduction, and then when I heard 50%, I said, maybe not, because I know a lot of other organizations that do a lot of other good in a lot of other ways that would want to rent Old School Square and would pay the whole ticket. So these are organizations that have rented Old School Square and still do a whole lot of other good. And I'm not knocking the idea that you want to do a free event, but there's sponsorships up and down Atlantic Avenue that could cover your $4,000.
Get it sponsored, get it branded by.
I guess
that was my only.
Sure. I guess my point is I could see maybe a reduction the first time, then after that it's full freight. I mean, figure it out, get it ticketed of some sort, or get sponsorships, but to get the ball rolling on it.
Also to see the reaction the first time and see if people really take to it.
But we're not a partner. It's not our event.
Mayor, any comments down there on the end of the dais?
No comment.
I like to make a motion that we do not grant this waiver in any capacity.
I'll second the motion.
Cole David.
No, I think against. Yeah.
A no would mean you don't agree with not waiving anything. A yes would mean you agree with not waiving anything.
Yeah, wait. Good, that's
I don't
confusing.
think so. I think a no means that
I'm
you're
against the motion.
Well,
you're
The
against
motion
the
is to not
motion
waive
to
it.
deny, right?
Yeah.
Once you make a motion, then it's open for discussion, or is the discussion?
Once it's second, it's open for discussion. Yes, and it's.
Oh no, well, I still want to discuss
Oh, sorry.
more. I
Please.
was just supporting
Before
the
the vote?
motion.
Okay.
But we can just.
We have a second. Let's bring it back
I'll
to the board.
second it. Continue on. We can take a vote whenever you want. No, continue. Yeah. I just want to say I think there's a way that he could secure some sponsorships possibly, and I'd like to help.
Well, we've structured it saying, if you can secure X amount of money, then we'll credit X amount of money or something.
Just for the record, this event is the 27th of September.
Okay, yeah,
So,
so it's not happening.
yeah, I'm just want
Any
to put that
events
out
in
there.
September are good.
All right, we have a motion in a second.
Getting culture into Delray is what we're here for. Getting business, getting people down here, getting 500 people on the avenue. All great. And hopefully they buy cheesesteaks.
This group is not buying cheesesteaks.
You going to Big Al's? Where are you going?
They're good for your heart. Don't believe that.
It's opening the restaurant. Opening soon.
This group
Tofu, maybe.
vegan
Yeah.
place.
Twinkies.
Yeah, let's call the roll.
Cole David.
No.
Alan Costello,
No.
Brian Rosen,
Yes.
Aaron Ali Barton,
Yes.
Anthony Barber,
Yes.
Joe Guagliardi,
No.
Jim Knight.
Of course, you have to throw me right in the middle of that.
Congratulations, by the way, on your new role.
Yeah.
A little butter on that toast.
I don't know. It's difficult for me to push this, but I'm going to go along with it as a no. But I don't want to see you come back and keep it a non-ticketed event. I think
we
that's
can
a
still
4 to
come
3.
back with less
Hold
funds
on,
possible.
hold on.
We need another
Are you
motion.
voting no? Just
I'm
for the
voting
record?
no.
So the motion fails, but you still haven't approved anything.
Great.
So there needs to be another motion.
Is there another
Well-
motion?
Yes, there's another motion. I make a motion that we approve a reduction to $2,000 for this event this time.
Is there a second?
Second with discussion, is that
Yep.
fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, piggybacking off what Al said, I agree. I hate giving away money on this type of stuff. But to get the ball started, let's see what they can do. And then, you guys got to come up with the money next time.
Yeah. And or
Agreed.
next time we create a way to partner on it where we share in profits
There
and
you
do
go.
something like that. If again the groups are strong and everything kicks off. I'm not against it. We got to tighten it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
I totally
and,
agree.
I'm would be aligned with what you're saying. I just
It's
want
good
to
that you stay on top of it. It
be
really
clear
is.
how it can happen.
And for the record, I'm not against your event. I'm against that the next person that comes up here asks for the
Right.
same thing, and the next person comes up here and
It's
asks for the same
slippery
thing.
slope.
And that's like
It-
who do you
it's
help
a
them?
And even
It's a
I'm gonna
slippery
and I'm gonna
slope,
tell you now. Well, we'll vote again, but my position is that if you don't have a standard that you're gonna operate by, everybody's gonna come up here and we're gonna be weighing this thing over and over and over. This is the same thing that we discussed about last meeting when we talked about waivers. Do things need to come over and over and over again before the board? It's like a repeated sword. We're doing the same thing in a cycle. So either we're going to standardize that where if someone comes and says they want to get a waiver request for Old School Square, we're going to have a standard as do they meet these check marks, and then we don't vote on it at all. Or listening to things on a case by case basis is part of what we're here for, but it's not based on any merit. We're just deciding up here that, well, you're your first time event, you're going to bring 500 people. And that sounds good. It doesn't seem as fair and equitable to anybody that will come up here as it would need to be.
And I would like to remind you again, it's September, and this is the worst season I've seen in 20 years on the street. And getting people here is all important, and that's what we do, is generate business for the businesses. So I'm looking at it from that position. As far as giving away, I don't look at it as giving away. I'm looking at it as us stimulating the economy with our $2,000 and our ability to put people in the seats, so to speak, at Old School Square.
I think part of the reason I'm so for this too is the demographic that it's bringing downtown. It's 30 and under, probably.
35.
30,
There's 40
35 and under. A lot of the stuff we do is, no
They
offense,
look like
but
they're 35.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
For the
It'll be
older
great.
people,
It'll be fine.
I think it's.
Let's
I don't doubt it'll
take
be
a
an
vote.
event.
Let's
That was
take a
never
vote.
the thing.
Yeah.
Before we get there, Mayor, you had a comment?
I have a comment. It's not the DDA's money, it's the city's money.
Yeah.
I have had issues before with the DDA waiving fees that would otherwise come to the city or defray the costs that the city gives the DDA. And I think that it is not, it's very easy to say we're going to be doing this because the DDA is doing it. This is not the DDA. The DDA is waiving a fee that's the city's money. It's not the DDA's money, it's the city's money. And I have had this conversation before about, I think that before you waive the city's money, the city ought to have a voice in whether or not you should be able to waive their money. So that's my position.
How
How
does that? And again, I'm brand new at the chairmanship.
No, I'm not.
and-
I'm
and so,
not. I'm
I
looking
mean,
at you because you
I'm
acknowledge
just
me. You're the chair.
trying to understand here, Quentin. So.
Yeah.
I can look at Jewel instead if you prefer. I mean, or
Please
Anthony.
don't,
I ate at his restaurant last week.
Cheese, you're
It
on
was
the
great,
eye.
so-
I think for purposes of today's meeting, you need to continue with the vote. I will say that, and I was going to wait to the end because this was already published and on the agenda. A conversation I had this morning with the city attorney. We're going to look at it together to see what's the best way to move forward with these type of requests. So to the mayor's point, we are going to be looking at that to make sure that the city and the DDA are doing what's best for the activations at that site in relation to this. But because this was on the agenda, it's been the policy to date. We have to continue with that for today.
So what I would like to do, I don't know if I can as the chair or not, but I'm going to try to. I'd prefer not to have anybody else come in front of us until we've had that discussion.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's resolved, because I don't think it's fair to the city, to the DDA, to everybody else, so forth, if we're spending somebody else's money without their input. So
Excellent.
I would much prefer that nobody else come through until such time that this is resolved one way or the other.
All right.
Can we vote on
100%
that
agree.
as well?
Yeah, you can. I don't think
I
you.
think there's consensus.
Yeah,
on
I think
that.
that's
Yeah, I think it's a great point.
Yes.
Well, the only point I would like to make is that we have an ILA with the state, with the city. We operate the old school square, not the city. That was the reason we entered into the ILA. And if the city is going to indeed micromanage us every step of the way or any step
Let's
of the way.
not go there right now.
Well, I'm
Okay?
just saying that
Just-
it's important to bring that up and it shouldn't be overlooked. We do have an agreement in place
I
already.
understand, but I don't know exactly what that
Well,
agreement, how
I
it
don't
stands
mind
on this
moving
and
all
so
of this.
forth, so.
I don't mind moving all this to a further discussion.
Well,
But
no, I
that
think
there's two sides to
as it
everything.
goes to the vote, we take the vote now. As it goes to the second comment or the comment that I had, in fairness to any of the applicants, in fairness to the city and so forth, that's resolved prior to somebody else coming back and asking about Old School Square specifically and a reduction of any sort.
Fine.
And
And
to
again,
that
this
point,
is
Chair.
only if they're looking for a reduction. And the thing,
Right.
they can pay the 4,000.
100%. They can come in.
Away.
Can we vote on the motion?
Call the roll, please. We have
So what was the motion for that?
Yeah.
2,000?
For the $2,000 reduction.
Jim Knight,
Yes.
Joe Guagliardi,
Yes, given the fact that it's the first time and given the fact that it's September and we could use it.
Yeah.
Anthony Barber,
Don't have a heart attack over it.
No.
Harlan Halliburton, Brian Rosen,
No.
Alan Costello,
Yes.
Cole Devitt,
Yes.
The item
Motion
passes 4-3.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chair, just excuse me, Chair Knight?
Yes.
Just, I wanted to jump in real quick. To that point, to your recommendation, we have had requests, and we had, knowing that we were getting some changes coming, we have had requests from others that are requesting waivers for the venue, but we're actually going to recommend what you did as well, just to pause and come up with a new policy.
Either that or go in front of the city. I
Right,
don't know
so
what
so
the
based on our
process is
conversations
to get in
today,
front of the
we'll
city
do
and
that.
see.
So,
If that happens as you described, are other applicants at risk of like missing their targets for things while we're waiting to kind of resolve stuff?
I would not think so. I think the vice chair kind of said it. They have the opportunity to rent the facility at cost, like everybody else. It's just a matter of having a waive fee is not a right that anybody is entitled to. So to answer that question, there's no entitlement to that. It's been looked at on a case-by-case basis. We're going to look at now how are we going to do that, if we're going to do that, and the manner in which we're going to do that with myself and the city attorney. And I think we had an agreement to try to do that as quickly as possible.
Yeah, the one thing I'd also say is I'd like to see it not impede any of the current events that are like annual events that we do, that we work, especially ones that are tied with non-for-profits and things. I don't want to see this like
My only
drag them out.
concern about that is if it's the city's money we're spending, we should bring this to a resolution, however it is, ahead of time, so that we know where the
which goes
city
back
stands.
to the
But to the
speed in which we'll handle it.
to past chair's point, there is an agreement. So that's why we're going to have the discussion, because it's not an all one side and all the other. So now,
So you're saying we have ongoing more than annual agreements? Is that what I'm?
no, it's the old school, the old school square ILA.
Right.
So we do have responsibility, obviously, at Old School Square. We're just going to talk about how we deal with this specific issue as it goes forward. To the point the mayor brought up, it's the city provides the, I guess, $800,000 this past budget year for the management of Old School Square. And going forward, it's going to be whatever's decided for this year, but we need to make sure we're talking to them about this, and which we will, and that's already been put in motion.
That brings us up to, I believe, item 5B.
Which is now 5A, yes.
5A, which is 5A, okay.
Yes, we are excellent. All right, so this is our monthly financial review. We have currently provided you with the May, this is for Downtown Development Authority financials as well as Old School Square financial report, our monthly report for May, June, and then also July, so as of July 31st. And I provided in your backup, you saw a summary memo along with the detailed Excel and balance sheet and profit and loss sheet for each month. So I wanted just to walk through with you all on I did put a presentation together, which is really what's on the memo in front of you. But for the public, we can share this. So as the Downtown Development Authority's financial report is the top line, what you're seeing here, based on May's revenue, the ad valorem tax totals. Then we did receive more installments in June and then again in July. So we've received all of our installments to date. Our investment revenue has increased over the past 3 months. And then our other revenue, which includes sponsorship funds as well as miscellaneous revenues, which really is around the venue rent, the tent rental around, or vendor fees for art and jazz. So that is what comes in our other revenue category. So you'll see the totals for each the past 3 months. And then we get into the expense section, and you have for May, we've outlined our expenses in marketing, June and July, as well as, and you'll see increase obviously in our expenses as we roll into summer around our summer programming, art and jazz events, and other programs, and our destination, really promoting the destination as we get into summer is really our big campaigns. Economic vitality, you see that also, that is our event category. So programs such as our Mother's Day Orchid giveaway, our summer programming, and our art and jazz on the avenues. And placemaking is our monthly expenses around our safety ambassador program, our decorative lighting and banners. We did the 4th of July banners. We produced new banners this year for the city, for the downtown, and that was a new installation fee as well. In this area on the grants, you'll see that is where that's the grants we've given so far this fiscal year, which hasn't changed until today. And then our operations expense. And that is really our monthly expenses incurred around, obviously, the staff operation, office expense, legal fees, rent, all of the operations around there. So you'll see our totals for May on the expense side, as well as, as we go into June and July. So we broke them out in that category. If you want to go to the next slide, I could give you little highlights as I did, which is really what I spoke about here. Other highlights are, around the marketing. We did print. We've done a lot of printing and advertising through for our summer programs, as well as art and jazz and restaurant month. And we did also produce a TV commercial for Restaurant Month, which is running now. We did a partnership. So you'll see those expenses in August and September. So as we go into, if we want to go to the next slide, which will highlight our Old School Square, which is part of our financial review for our month. Every month we review both of these. So you can see the difference between our revenues from May, June, and July. We've had a big increase in July for our program income, which was really associated with our ticketed events, our Pop 2000 event, and the program income. So program income includes tickets, concession, and any venue vendor fees. So those are all in the program income category. Our donations are up, those are donations that are coming in through the museum, and our sponsorship is stayed steady. So with that, and then our rentals, you can see, has also stayed steady as we've gone into July. We are slowing down as far as the rentals are for the summer, but we're picking up. We have 14 in October and quite a few this month as well. For the expense side, you'll see we have our operations expenses, the staff for the Cornell Museum, and all of our on-site facilities for our events, special events, and our security, everything that happens in administrative, every office, all of that falls into operation. Marketing expenses are really around, obviously, promoting both for Cornell as well as all of our marketing for the campus itself, as well as for the specific events such as our ticketed programming and our free concerts that we ran this summer. The Cornell Museum operations, this is the operations category for all any activations, exhibitions. So for First Friday Art Walk, the art talks, the Harold Cadio art unveiling, all of that falls into the Cornell Art Museum expenses. And our amphitheater, as you know, those are all, we have, that includes both our winter programming and our summer program. So we have August, as of August, we have just 2 more events at the amphitheater. We had several events that we were managing. We actually had 3. We had the Cold Collective event, as well as the Sunset Series concert, and our Jimmy Buffett Party in Paradise event. The grounds category, we have done some facilities enhancements with some soft touches to the concession restrooms, as well as pressure spraying throughout the entire campus, including the buildings. We've done some storage clean out and painting in there, as well as backstage, and also in the vintage gym. We're doing a lot of, we've done some soft painting in the restrooms and hardware enhancements for that, because some of the doorknobs were broken, light fixtures were broken, so we did some repairs in there. And we are, as you see, we've increased, so the expenses are on track, but our revenues are coming in pretty well. So with that, so each of these individual, so here you have our, you can go to the next slide, it's fine, on our, just some of the highlights we put in there. If there's so we do have 2 ticketed plans. I have the last bullet. You'll see we do have programs planned and events scheduled as far as rentals and city events that are coming up, both September, October, and then through. We do have 2 events scheduled for ticket events for the fiscal year ahead. But see, we also have some plans in place, but we're waiting for that. But that doesn't impact the financials for the current months. So I just put that on there as a highlight. But with that, I have any questions or comments on the monthly financials? And one thing I did also highlight for the board, based on questions that Chair Rosen, or Board Member Rosen, Vice Chair Rosen brought up last month regarding the liabilities and on our balance sheet, and that is reflective. So since we do monthly financials, review the financials on a monthly basis, any revenue or any expenses that are being paid for the month ahead, so like August is in July, so those liabilities are kept in the balance on that, underneath that line item on the balance sheet. So that's considered the liability. So those will be reflected in the coming months.
Who wants to kick it off?
No questions? Is there a motion?
If that's the case, that's where I was going to jump right to. If there's no questions, is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the financials as they are.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, Liliana.
So dark outside.
Cole Devitt,
Yes.
Alan Costello,
Yes.
Brian Rosen,
Yes.
Harden Burton,
Yes.
Anthony Barber,
Yes.
Joel Guagliardi,
Yes.
Jim Knight.
Yes. Brings us on to 5B.
Parking.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It's
5D.
Oh, we moved that one up, okay. So let's talk parking.
Parking.
Actually-
I missed the merchant meeting, and I know Missy was there to present. But I'll let you, Laura. You can kind
Okay,
of take us through
great.
the PowerPoint because I wasn't
Sure.
there for it.
So, unless Jeff,
Jeff, do you want to take us
would
through
you
it?
like to talk about them, or would you like me to do it? Okay.
So to back up though, didn't the city already took a vote on the parking
Yes.
and this? Okay.
Yeah, this. All right, I'll do a quick
Okay.
update. So
I just want to make sure.
I
As
like
a-
to have parking is on the agenda every month, so they put it on, and I'll kind of run the parking discussions generally. But at the last merchant meeting, Missy Barletto came and was updating the merchants directly with the DDA on where they were moving with the employee parking permit.
Mhm.
And I think this is the presentation the city brought to us on kind of where things are moving.
Right. Yes, so at the August 18th
I caught it, yeah.
or 19th meeting, the August 19th meeting, our meeting was on the 18th, and then the August 19th meeting is when the city provided a new presentation, and this is the employee parking program that was presented, and ultimately a consensus to move forward with this as of October 1. And this is obviously, you all know that we've been talking about employee parking for a very long time, but what this permit will do will allow anyone in the downtown district to obtain a permit if they work for a business in that downtown by showing verification. You can register online or in person at the parking one parking office, but it is a $10 per month permit, and this will allow anyone. So this, and who can participate is the employees that are part of and any downtown area that within the downtown and beachside area of the city of Delray Beach. So from basically A1A to 95. And as I'm assuming that's in that's our DDA district area. Proof
Well,
of
north-south though, too, because it's, the DDA district meanders a little bit.
I believe it's the downtown DDA district, the CBD. So we'll get clarification on that. Do we have clarification on that, sir? Jeff Forrest, Assistant City Manager.
Mr. Assistant City Manager, please come on down.
I'd like to bid $1,400. No.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm not clear on exactly what district has been defined. We'll certainly work with Laura to make sure that you have the confines of that district, but I do believe it was a CBD.
And so the second question I had, and this was primarily initially started off for the restaurant, so forth. Is it all businesses? Does that mean I could have?
Yes.
I could apply, even though I have parking and so forth. So okay, just trying to understand that. Not that I'm going to be applying, just so everybody knows.
Look at me, I walk.
I hobble right now at the
Yes.
moment.
No, it is available for all employees because there are. I mean, as of our last data count, there's a close to 11,000 employees in the downtown area. So office workers are probably
Tennis courts. It's
the
noise from
80
tennis courts
employees
that
at
they sense.
International Materials. So, so with that, here are the requirements: current driver's license, vehicle. It's going to be tied to the vehicles because it's license plate readers. So it's just like every other permit that the city gives, the resident permit as well as the beach permits, all based on the car, and it would be obviously one permit per employee. So it does have to be reapplied every month. So this is how because employees come and go, especially in certain industries. So in order for them to be more able to be real, this is also a pilot program. Just before we start, this is a 6-month program starting October 1 to April. So they're going to be reviewing this Some questions at the merchant meeting were, how is it going to be tracked? What's the data? How are they going to test it? What are they going to be doing to prove its success or failure? A lot of it is based on permits being purchased, as well as feedback. Because there were a lot of great questions that were brought up at the merchants that Missy, I think that were really good to take back to consider. So hopefully that and she said we'll work with the DDA to make sure that the feedback's gets to the right hands to evolve the program and hopefully continue it.
Just manage the problem.
So, yes, sir.
Quick question. Can we, is it possible to specify on this DDA area? Because the beach, the Oceanside Park is not DDA area. It stops at the pavilion, right?
It said downtown and the beach side.
Well, you
And
can't
beachside.
have people filling up the beach parking spots all day.
Well, you can't park on Atlantic Avenue. No, but the employees, where the employees can park.
Yeah, we
Well, right
can't
now
park
it's
on
saying they can park on A1A for $10. Am I reading this wrong?
I think you're reading it correct.
Yeah,
It sounds like
I
to me
think
they could take
it's
up.
everywhere but
down-
Atlantic Avenue.
It says the permit
A1A.
will allow verified downtown employees to park in any available space except on Atlantic Avenue for $10 a month. That means you can park anywhere for $10.
With the exception of Atlantic, I believe.
Well, exception
Mayor?
of Atlantic, but
Yeah, one of the reasons it's a pilot program is there is a genuine concern that with this program at $10 a month, it makes it very inexpensive for employees to park. There will be no parking left for any of the patrons.
yes, 100%.
I'm actually a little concerned about that, especially
Well, I mean,
thinking
this
about
was,
going to the beach. Yeah.
it wasn't really focused on, but which is why it was made as a pilot program, because if we find that while everyone came in saying we want free parking, all of a sudden if everyone, $10 a month is really a de minimis amount for parking downtown for a month.
If I can chime in, I think that this board anyway, unless I'm misunderstanding, we were talking about the garages and the garages only. We weren't talking about the side streets and so forth. Not that we have any decision-making
This idea was not
ability.
generated by this board.
No, I understand. I'm just
And-
saying that
and
was our suggestion.
I will say that it's a pilot program, and let's see where it goes. We want to certainly accommodate the restaurants and the merchants down there so that their employees can have available parking. At the same time, they also would like their customers to be able to park and be able to go to the restaurants and go to the shops and things such as that. So
Right.
we'll see where it is. We'll see where it is in 6 months.
Right, and that also that the $10 is available for parking in the garages. So one of the comments at the merchant meeting to this small group that we'll continue to reiterate is that it's important for the employees to park far away, not in the prime spots, and so
That's
they
not
need
gonna happen.
They need to make sure that they're making that happen. So.
Can we please go back to what I brought up and specify that the DDA area of responsibility is not north and south on A1A?
Like I said,
it stops in the
I will
pavilion.
clarify the area that's.
This is gonna
affected
screw everybody
and
up
make
right
sure I
here.
get that information to Laura.
I would say I don't think it was anticipated in the conversations that were held. I don't think they were anticipating the area you're describing, because it's a very big revenue source for the city, and they don't really want it. I mean,
I understand what you're saying, but I know employees, and if I can
I'm
park
just-
$10, I'm gonna go on Saturday and Sunday when I'm off and park on the beach for $10
it needs some refinement.
a month.
We acknowledge that's why it's a pilot program.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would certainly concur with the mayor. This is a pilot program because I think as it was being discussed, the commission as well as the public, no one really knew what the effect was. So a pilot project, we get to find out over 6 months what happens, how it works, how it doesn't work, what's the positive, what's the negatives, and then we can adjust accordingly.
A quick question for the
But
mayor.
I
if
do
I
think
can.
your comment is noted and should be discussed before we finalize the project. That there are certain areas where you use a broad definition of CBD. Well, that goes all the way up Federal Highway too, to like 4th. So
Understood.
I'm making
Yeah,
more work.
I'm- I'm
I'm making more
hopeful-
work for
I'm
Mr.
hopeful.
Worse, but I think there are parts of it that you certainly don't want to give up the beach parking, which is city makes hundreds of maybe $1 million a year out of it.
And I did receive a notice that we're going to exclude A1A.
Okay,
Great.
Update. Yeah.
Someone's watching.
Look at that, amazing, Aaron.
And again,
He asked
I was
me
waiting
to
on that
receive.
notice.
It's great.
And I guess while we're up,
Brian,
we-
go
we
ahead,
have-
please.
Yeah, thank you.
That's-
While we're up, the only other things I'd like to bring up during the parking discussion is, again, this is pilot program, we understand now the areas, is the garages. Again, Stephanie's still sitting in the audience. Hey, appreciate the chamber being a part of this whole discussion. But, they brought up the possibility of free parking. We've talked about it. I know you're hearing us and the city manager. So as we're figuring this out, maybe that's something that we can maybe revisit at some point for the garages.
I actually followed up on what now Chairman, former board member Knight mentioned, that how Boca Raton does it, and I thought that was probably a good idea to take a couple of the top floors, which are not really being used much during the day at all, and allocate those towards this program. Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Makes more sense.
Not to discredit you, Mayor, but the third and fourth and fifth floors of the parking garage are being utilized by homeless. So.
Well, so they're being used.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for that clarification.
Al?
Yeah, I just want to say again that it's September. Business is horrible.
Have your microphone on? I'm not sure.
It's on.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. At our merchant meeting, all the people complained about the weather and about the season. It's a very, very slow season. If you go down Atlantic Avenue, it's empty. The parking garages are empty, but perhaps if people continue to get a chance to park for free, maybe they'll come down. It's a really slow season, and ultimately, without the customers and without the businesses, we won't have reason for parking. So we need to stimulate business any way we can, and I think we should adjust our parking program to the season, not just for the employees, but add in the fact that business is slow and we need help.
That would be a next season. That'd be kind of hard to implement this season, but I think that's something
We still
Yes.
have October and November and December.
Yeah, those are busy times, though, aren't those?
Mr. Chair,
Please,
just
yes.
two quick points I'd like to make. One, contrary to popular belief, the city cannot do anything about the weather.
You can't? I was wondering.
We can't.
What about the season? Can you
We
do
can't.
anything
The
about
best
the
we can do
business?
is tell you lightning's coming, which for those of you who didn't hear the mayor, that sound of either a dying animal or the Keystone Cops horn is actually a lightning detector at the tennis center. The second thing I want to mention was Missy Barletto has let me know that she inadvertently stated at the merchant meeting that parking would be $1.25 in the garage. It's actually $1.50.
Okay, yeah, she was uncertain of
And
that.
$10 per month, and every month they need to come back in with their ID or whatever else. So
Thank
forth.
you,
So
Missy.
It was a compromise. Someone had more, someone had less. So
I watched. Yep. Thank you.
I was for the higher side, as you know, so.
I think that's really it. Again, maybe we can continue next month, keep parking on. We can see how many employees have gotten on the program, being that it's supposed to start in 2 weeks, and kind of keep tracking that. And then also, I always like pushing the city resident program too, because you think $10 a month is a good deal. I like $12 a year. So living in the city and paying taxes, it's $12 a year, and that's something I like to try to let people know about that worry about the expensive parking, because when you live in the city, it's actually a great deal.
Go ahead, Al.
You said you weren't at the meeting. I know. At the meeting, Missy said the parking program, the $12 parking program, only 3 people.
No, that's
No,
the
that-
downtown resident.
No, yeah,
one,
there's like
not the
700.
city
I
resident.
think is 700 and change is on the
So
city.
there are
program.
there's another pass. So if you live like upstairs at Bank United, or there's no parking for those residents. So that permit was designed for those individuals that live upstairs that
only
don't have
got
parking.
3.
Well, there's not that many
Okay,
that live
but
down
the
here.
resident parking's been
It's like
successful.
11 people total.
Well, that
I
could be
think.
very successful. It could be only 10 people that
Yeah.
actually have. She got 30% of the people. So.
There is this 11. So yeah.
The city resident, not the downtown resident. It's a couple programs, so it's a little confusing. But the city resident program, I think it's about 700 or so,
Maybe
close
more.
to 800
Mhm.
now.
I think there's-
and we'll
That's
keep track of that, because again, I think that's a great
Yes.
value for people that pay taxes and live in the city. To understand and know, because anyone that finds out, usually pretty excited about it.
And those beach lots are available to them too. It's a good.
In closing, Suzanne, is there a way to put this front and center on the website? It's only 2 weeks out. I want people to know about it, not saying that they're complaining about, this.
Yeah, we just found out about it on Friday, so we have a whole strategy to get the word out with the city. We're working with
Great.
Gina at the city to
to get the word out to all of our business owners and employees.
Thank you.
One more.
Yep. Yes, Aaron.
And if you got
Talking to business owner, it's like, wait.
If the commission could relook at the parking garage as being the third, fourth, and fifth floor utilized for employees or for free, that'd be great, because we've been talking about it since the parking garage was built, and it doesn't get utilized.
I will say that's why it's a pilot program where
I know.
you can only have giveaways in so many parts of the town to start
Right.
with. So we're
I get
it's
it.
a pilot program.
I get it.
You're talking specifically Old School Square or all of them?
Old School Square and then
Yeah.
Railroad Lot.
Yep.
But you have the Federspiel that's also not used a lot. You have
The iPick.
the proposed parking garages in a couple
Well,
of places weren't being used at all, which
yeah.
I'd love them to build.
I'm happy to send the data because we do still get the monthly data from the parking board, so we can send that out so you can see the capacity, because they can tell you the utilization for those. So
I guess the one last thing I apologize trying to kill a dead horse here, but is that I also heard at that meeting that the in lieu fees are still going to continue just to go into the general fund. Whereas I think there's a portion of the city commission that would like to see that go towards actually building parking, not maintaining and
Right.
so forth. So hopefully they can figure that out. I have a feeling there's some more funds coming in from recent
There are at
projects
least
here.
2 city commissioners in this room right now that agree
Great.
with what you just said.
Is there a third?
Can I get a third, please?
is that something we want to continue to advocate for?
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
Okay.
100%. That was the goal.
Very good.
To
That ties
collect
into
this
the
money,
parking.
it's supposed to
Yeah.
build parking.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess all the items obviously that are brought up during this conversation to continue that.
Definitely parking
Okay.
on both sides of Swing.
Yeah. Is
Is that an action item? Am I looking at that?
No, it's not an action item, but
Okay.
I,
Just an
I
item
do
for
know that
discussion.
in several conversations, to your point, Anthony, is the county courthouse garage and that utilizing that in some capacity more often going forward. I don't know where, I know we use it for special events, but to somehow eventually bring that bullet, that we've discussed it several times with this board, as the county courthouse garage sits there and is underutilized. So it was something that we could,
That dialogue has started. It was
Excellent.
we did that in 2012 when then Mayor Woody McDuffie arranged to
then-
deal with the county's garage, and there were certain dates that they were going to be closed, but certainly on weekends and events and
Yes.
things, it was a great opportunity for employees to park
Absolutely.
there and places like
and
that,
residents,
and
or
and
visitors.
resident parking, and they've been re-engaged.
With
We
our
did
new
have an
county
agree-
administrator, it should
Yeah.
help to bring things to the bubble up to the top. So
Yeah.
Oh, with our new
And one of
with our new clerk of courts who loves Delray Beach, she thinks it's a good
Yeah, we
idea
had
too.
it
So this
during our-
conversation's already started.
pilot program. We had an agreement with them for a pilot program years ago. So that's good, because I think that would be, we've heard that from other visitors and residents and employees. So that I think that would be great.
Mr. Chair, if I may add, while
Please.
the county has been very agreeable with issues related to the garage, and that agreement actually is up, I think, in 26 or 27 for renegotiation. So certainly, if you have any thoughts on how it might be used, we'll take any.
I suggest we just have a
any
domain it,
suggestions at
take
all.
it.
So the other thing I
That's a
wanted
piece
to
of real estate
clarify
you could
as
have a
well.
Sari buy.
The other thing I wanted to clarify as well is the in lieu of dollars can only be used for the creation of parking or for bike and pedestrian mobility.
I heard that, but I
Okay.
think it was
So,
doing the lights or to confirm whether you're parking your car there or not and so forth. So
Expansion-
I'd love to
like I
see
said,
it
expansion of the
just
parking
for
as
building
well as-
parking.
The one problem with that is it will never generate enough money to put a dent in.
If we don't
something
start,
have to
we
do.
probably sent in, I'm going to take a stab, probably north of $3 million have come in to the in lieu program since it started.
I would actually.
Yeah.
It's higher.
It is higher.
It is higher. Okay, so
Is it
there
that
we go.
much?
That's
Well, it started
$3 million.
in
You
started
start
in
to use that as a
1970s,
down payment
so-
on something. It can go a significant ways. And with your in lieu, if it gets continued, that's still money that could go towards servicing debt and whatever else, so forth. So I agree that the parking garages to date either been privately developed, right, or been done through bond issues, correct? So
Through the CRA.
right.
Yep. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jeff.
Thank you.
All right, I think that brings us to, after the parking. Yep, there we are.
All right. So August was a busy month for the DDA. As you all know, summer is a very big focus for us because of what Al said. It's slow here, so we're really trying to drive traffic into downtown and make it less seasonal. But I want to start with what we're working on right now, which is Downtown Delray Restaurant Month. We have 52, I think we just had a 53rd restaurant sign up. I know Anthony and his team was on camera on Friday, for early Friday morning at the crack of dawn, doing some TV interviews with WPTV. They did a whole Shining a Light segment on our restaurant month. How did that go, Anthony?
I think by the time Sunday came around, I had caught up with my sleep.
Yeah. Well, I will say I looked at your segment. You did an awesome job.
Yeah,
so.
it was very rewarding. We have a young person who is in transition, so we gave that person an opportunity to come through and kind of showcase some of their skills and talents. So they were very grateful for that. And the weirdest thing about when you try to do, I guess you say, good, definitely received some immediate not so nice commentary regarding it, but that's not anything to worry about. I was happy to first give that person an opportunity to work, and then second to just let them be whoever they want to be in their truth. Didn't disturb me at all. So, but we definitely appreciate TA, the DDA, Danielle, Laura for doing what she does. We haven't yet seen an influx from it, but definitely had a lot of people talking about it and saying it's all on the news, so it's good.
Awesome. So we're doing something a little bit different this year for Restaurant Month. We have this mobile exclusive pass. This is part of a third-party provider that we use for the Love Delray Savings Pass. And this pass allows for a smoother experience for users. It also gives us valuable data on who is signing up for these things, who our target audience is. And so we are really getting some amazing data because of this new way that we're doing Restaurant Month. So I just kind of wanted to take you all through this so you can see how this works. So it is a thing that you sign up for online. It's a mobile exclusive. You get a link texted to your phone, and then you are able to scroll through and see all the deals on the pass. And then you can check in. Once you get to a restaurant, you can check in. So we see, how many people have signed up, and then we also are able to see when someone has gone into a restaurant and checked in. And you get points for checking in, and then guests redeem those points for restaurant gift cards. We have a lot of people that have 500, 700, 900 points right now. So people are using the pass, and they are checking in. And people are finding out about it through our marketing. We have print, we have direct mail. I gave you guys all the RSVP coupon book that is gone out to 55,000 luxury homes. We were on the cover of that. We're in a real estate mailer that goes out to 25,000 homes. We're in the newspaper, digital. We're doing TV commercials with Discover the Palm Beaches. So Discover the Palm Beaches has a co-op program where they will split the money with you. So we are able to make our dollars go twice as far because of this co-op with Discover the Palm Beaches. So we were able to buy a lot more airtime this year for our Restaurant Month ads. Social media, public relations, our website, obviously our dedicated page. Emails are a very big marketing tool for us. And then, of course, on-site promotion at our concerts and events. And this is just a look at where we are to date from Restaurant Month. Meanwhile, we're barely a week into Restaurant Month. We already have more than 2,200 people signed up for our Restaurant Month pass and 108 check-ins. And this is just a look at the restaurants that are doing really well right now. Rose's Daughter is number one, Jimmy's Bistro, Bourbon Steak. So you're seeing like all the restaurants that are really getting those check-ins. And I did want to bring back the Love Del Rey data because it has now ended, our Love Del Rey Savings Pass. And, we found it kind of interesting that we only had about 2,500 signups for this pass that was the length of the summer. So this was 3 months long of marketing and only 361 redemptions. And as I'm looking into this data, what seems to be the issue is that it's very focused on one thing, right? The Restaurant Month Pass is very focused on one thing instead of the Love Del Rey Savings Pass, which had multiple different retail and restaurant and wellness. And so there was a lot going on with that pass. And I think the Restaurant Month Pass is just connecting with people more because it's niche. It's very focused on dining. And so moving forward, as we're going to be continuing to do these passes and gathering this data, I think it's important to really look at how can we make that more niche for each of our businesses. I did want to just bring this back because this was in August, our Love Del Rey Fit event with the Cold Collective. This was a fitness and cold plunge event at at Old School Square on August 2nd. We had 400 attendees, 30 wellness vendors. 4 of our downtown gyms did half-hour workouts. It was a great event. 12 downtown businesses were vendors during this event as well. We had Deeks and Tammy Fender, and they all came, and everyone said they had a great event. They were really able to focus on their target audience, which was really important. Art and Jazz on the Avenue is this Wednesday, September 10th, East Atlantic Avenue from Swinton to Northeast 5th. It is our longest Art and Jazz, and we are doing a special dining theme because it's Restaurant Month. We do have a couple of restaurants coming into the footprint, so they've extended their cafe permit. That means they will be adding tables in the street. And then we also have a couple of restaurants coming in to activate as vendors within that event. So that's 6 to 9:30 on Wednesday.
If I can ask a question there.
Yeah.
Is that like into the parklet, into the parking spot, or
Yeah,
into
it's in the parking spot.
street? Okay.
No, not in the
I
street.
wanted to
The
make sure
parking
it's not-
spots.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. As far as August marketing highlights, I just wanted to go through some of the highlights that we had for August. We saw significant growth in email revenue. So we have integrations through our email platform that allows us to follow the person that clicks on links, and we can follow them all the way to ticket sales. And so this shows us that we had $2,400 that we made directly attributed to our email campaigns this past month. So it's a really cool way to kind of see the data and see what's working as far as our marketing is concerned. And so that was, that's always good when we see a bump in being able to see revenue based off of our campaigns. Our social media impressions nearly doubled year over year. We're up 93% over last year. We had 500,000 plus ad impressions across all our paid digital advertising. Very strong PR reach. We always have strong PR reach, but last month we saw an audience of about 22.5 million. That's a value of $273,000. That's basically earned media. Steady website traffic highlighting restaurant and event-driven demand. And then this was one of those PR press releases that we put out about our legacy businesses in Del Rey. And Del Rey Magazine picked it up and did a whole 6, 7, 8 page spread on some of our legacy businesses in downtown. Nina Rayner, The Camera Shop, Boston's on the Beach, McLaren Signs, Strawn & Sons Funeral Home, Green Owl, and Rich Wagons were all highlighted. And it was a really great article in Del Rey Magazine. And then this is just a look at some of the numbers from each of our marketing buckets, public relations, website. We're seeing strong page views on our website. Our contact list has grown significantly. Social media following and impressions have grown significantly. And now I want to turn it over to Shelley to talk about the Visitor Information Center, also up significantly every year.
We did. We have had a great summer at the Visitor Center. We've been up about 20% all summer over last year. So although it seems slow in town, they're coming into the Visitor Center. So it is a great spot for promotional materials for all of our businesses to get out from us. We can give it out from there. We had, as you can see, tons and tons of locals, local Florida people, as well as Northeast coming in. We did have a ton of phone calls as well. With all the rain in our concerts and things, we answered a lot of phone calls about what's still going on. Is it still happening? So we did that a lot too. All right. We had some fantastic events that we were able to do because of the slower season. The museum sponsored a wonderful talk to get all of our volunteers up to speed on all the exhibitions that are going on in the museum. Had a huge turnout for that. Thank you, Mariska. And then Kapow hosted us, as well as Visit the Palm Beaches up in West Palm for a boat tour to check out those options up there. And Three Natives is in our spotlight this month, so it's been a good month for us. Thanks.
Thanks, Shelley. We did want to give you a quick update on the ambassadors and the beach keepers, downtown safety, downtown cleanliness, and just kind of give you an idea of what our ambassadors and our the beach keepers who do the litter abatement encounter on a monthly basis. For our ambassadors, they have had about 160 homeless interactions, the same with individual interactions. Cars blocking roads, that's another thing that is high on the list of what they're responding to. They assist our merchants, and unfortunately, that's not a nice one, but it is on the list, and so we want to, it's part of what they deal with.
It's not dog.
What's that?
Yes, it goes dog. It's not dog.
It's not dog. Speaking of cleanliness, we have the beach keepers that help us keep downtown clean, and specifically those areas on the fringe of downtown. So 2 blocks north and south of Atlantic Avenue is where they focus their efforts. They're 7 days a week picking up litter. They have volunteers working 168 hours per week, and just for what they do for the DDA. So there's a lot that they do at our events. They come and pick up at our events. So they pick up about 3,400 gallons of litter per month. So they do about 24 buckets. They have a 5-gallon bucket. They pick about 24 buckets per day. Coming up in downtown, we have Restaurant Month all month, so make sure you get out and see all the deals and check in. Sign up for the mobile exclusive pass and check in. Wednesday, as I mentioned, Art and Jazz on the Avenue. Please come out for that. September 12th and 13th this weekend is the Davis Cup. And then the 20th, we have one more MC Yogi event. The yoga and music experience will be in the Vintage Gym at Old School Square on the 20th. All right, now moving on to Old School Square, we just wanted to update you on visits to campus. We had 17,000 people come on campus in the month of August, and that's up over 13% over last year. We had about 15,000 last August. So we are holding steady and getting people on campus. And part of that, a huge part of that, is the Cornell Art Museum. Mariska?
Hi, everyone. For those that don't know me, I'm Mariska. I'm the Cultural Arts Director and oversee the Cornell Museum and also some art projects for the DDA. So the month of August was a little bit slow in attendance, but we did have events happening. We had quite a lot going on. First Friday Art Walk, we had 296 people come in for Art Walk. That's a lot, especially in August. We did have Art Connect artists were live painting outside. We had a Francis Borg memorial that was happening. And we also had live music inside by Phil Fest. So it was a fun night. Quite a lot of attendance, a lot of people outside and inside. So it was just a really well-rounded night for the museum. And we also had Shining a Light. T.A. Walker was in the museum highlighting our pop culture exhibition. We had 3 artists featured, Ashley Walters, Harold Caudio, and Damian Fitzsimmons. And, a little bit contrary to what was said earlier, whenever we have TA in the museum, we get a wonderful boost in our attendance. People come in saying, saw you on TV, we saw the artist, we want to see it in person. So it's always wonderful when he's there, and he loves coming to the museum, so we're really fortunate about that. And I had the rare opportunity, I happened to be in Italy this year visiting family in the town where my parents were born and the town where I was born, and coincidentally at the same time, the Farindola International Art Festival was going on, which is a town about an hour and a half from where I was. Actually, 3 of our artists, 3 museum artists, were part of this festival. There were 7 South Florida artists invited. 2 of them, one just recently had an exhibition in the museum, Andre Lopez, and then another one, Ralph Papa, has an exhibition in the museum right now, Impressions of Italy, about his artist in residency that he does in Italy. So let's talk about a big serendipitous moment here. It was really incredible, and I had the opportunity to rent a car and go see it on my dime, just so you all know. But it was about connecting us to the city of Farindola. The mayor came out and met us. The cultural council that they have called Pro Loco came out and met with us. They were so happy to connect with a city in Florida. It was incredible. So we're hoping to maybe invite some of them to come to Florida in coming years. So it was an incredible thing. It still warms my heart, and I was so glad I made the time to go. It was great. And then, so that was outreach for us, really, in a really big way. But this was a smaller outreach that we did with the Chamber. The Chamber hosts the 4th Annual Focus on Women. They've invited us every year. We were there with the museum, and Pam Lambie, our museum coordinator, was there. They always have at least 300 guests that come. So it's an opportunity for the museum to show what we do, show our art, and have people interested in our programming. So that was a great event, too. And then we've had an increase in docent-led tours. So that means groups are calling us and wanting to schedule docent-led tours. We had 4, and usually we offer a $10 fee for this because we want people to come in, and we offer our docent there free of charge. Whoever does the tour knows all about the exhibition, knows all about the artists, and can really offer behind the scenes, really intimate look at the art rather than just here's a painting on the wall. They talk about the why, they talk about what we're doing this for, upcoming events. It gives us a chance to one-on-one talk with people. We had a mosaic artist group come from Orlando on Brightline, specifically to see our mosaics, our icons of art, which was just a tremendous thing. We wouldn't have expected it. We didn't know they were coming. But of course, our team rallied, gave them a wonderful tour. They spent time downtown having lunch. They want to come back, and they want to bring mosaic artists that didn't make it to this one. So that was really exciting. It was a great event. And then upcoming, we have the Dorothy Gillespie retrospective, Color in Motion, that's coming up October 18th. We also have an individual spotlight, Crystal Backus, with her work. She does these amazing Native women, Black women, different people from the islands who she features in her work. She does earrings, does all kinds of things. She's an artist that was part of our Art on the Square several years ago as an emerging artist and received a free space for that. So here she is back in the museum this time. And then we have Primitive to Surreal from Gustavo Novoa. That's going to be coming in November. That's it for the museum.
Thanks, Mariska.
Thank you, Mariska.
We had a free sunset concert, another packed house. The last 2 sunset concerts were crazy attendance. We had 2,100 people packed in Old School Square on August 22nd. VIP nearly sold out. VIP is how we're able to make some money on these free concerts. So that's always good when it's nearly sold out. And then Party in Paradise was another huge hit. We had a full day of activities. Lots of families came out, lots of kids doing, we had coconut painting and a huge community mural that was done. And so lots of fun. We had 3 different bands. We had Cape Universal, who killed it at the opening, and then Spread the Dub, another local band, was second, and then we ended the night with the Jimmy Buffett tribute, the Caribbean Chillers. So thank you to everyone who came out. It was a great night. We had we sold about 1,100 tickets, and VIP did sell out for this event, so it was a packed night. And thank you to Commissioner Markert for saying a few words at the start. He was there, so it was a great event, a lot of fun. This is a look at the Old School Square marketing buckets, email blasts, social media also growing on the Old School Square side. Our public relations, Old School Square is constantly in the news thanks to our public relations team, and our website is doing very solid. Coming up at Old School Square, the yoga and music experience with MC Yogi on the 20th, and then October, things are starting to kick off again. First Friday Art Walk, Cocoa Market, the Dorothy Gillespie Art Exhibition opening, as Mariska mentioned. And then Delray Green Market, our most popular event in downtown, is returning on October 25th. And that is it for the update.
You should know. May I?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
No, you're it. You should know that when you have the amphitheater full, that all the way down at US 1 at Big Al Steaks, business is up 30% or more on those weekend nights. It's great for business. I assume the whole avenue is grateful. But
yeah, we had a call from the woman who runs the Haagen-Dazs a couple of weeks ago when we had back in July when we had art and jazz, and then the city had the drone show, and they were all in that Pineapple Grove, Old School Square area. And she was like, I don't know what's happening, but whatever is happening, I'm going to have to bring in more people if you're going to continue this. So yeah, I mean, we do hear that, anecdotally, and we also see it in the numbers.
Well, I do, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Great.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Thank you, team. Good job.
Are we, make sure I'm at this right spot? Are we at the DDA comments?
You are.
Yes,
Perfect.
sir.
We're just working good on time here.
Mr. Attorney?
Yes, sir. I appreciate the opportunity. I want to just remind the board members to make sure you're checking your new DDA email. I know there's been a transition to that email. If you're still having issues,
If you don't mind, I'd like to chime in on that.
Yeah,
Because
still having issues.
a lot of people, if people aren't utilizing it, unless I'm incorrect here, then that gives them access to all your emails and everything else when you have to do discovery or whatever it is, public records requests. It's a lot easier for the DDA, for us as board members, have everything right on one email. I think there's been some concern about if they get access to that, because mine lines up. I just happen to have it on my Surface, and I'll make it real quick, but it's on the Surface. I don't want it on my phone. I don't want it on my iPad, so it's not chasing all the things. And so it's actually right there, but it's a separate email, clearly and distinctively separate, nothing to do with anything else. And that way, if there's a public records request, I can just say it's on the server, and it's on the server, as opposed to, hold on a minute, come check Jim at nightgroupfl.com and so forth, and it's a lot more than that to do. So it's actually a protection for us board members as well as the DDA and so forth. So I strongly encourage, if you're having any issues, I'm not too savvy at the electronics, but I got on the phone with somebody and he walked me through it and it was done. So.
I'm still having issues, but I did set up a separate email when I first came on the DDA board, which was suggested from our legal counsel at the time, and I'll keep working on it. I figured out how to get in, but I have to go in incognito so it doesn't know, because I use
You don't
I
have
use
to say, you
Microsoft for
don't
my
you don't
work,
have to.
so-
That's what I do too. So they're all, it's just, here's one email, and then there's the other email address below it, so forth.
Yeah,
So.
but it all shows up on my activity thing. I don't know. It seems to tie into
And
Microsoft
it has a separate
differently from my
calendar, has
Office.
separate everything, so forth, so it's all.
Thank
Anyway.
you, Mr. Chair. That was my only comment.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Executive Director?
Yes,
Laura?
thank you. I have a couple things, and I know we have time, so I'm going to go real quick. But the first one was the International Downtown Association Conference, which is our industry conference, happens at the end of this month. I did provide you with some information. The conference itself is a 3-day immersive conference for place management organizations like ourselves from around the country and actually around the world. It's highly recommended that board members, elected officials, others that can attend because it is a great learning environment. We've had past board members and staff attend that as well. We don't have a lot of training in this industry, so it's really important to learn from others and hear and a lot of the lessons, a lot of the programs that we've had currently, and also vendors that we're using are in that industry, such as our new web partner that we were launching came from IDA. The restaurant app came from IDA. So there's a lot of things that the ambassador program. So a lot of things that we are actually implementing have come from this organization. So I know it's in a couple weeks, but it's in Washington D.C. and would welcome. We do have it budgeted in our training line item in our budget. So if there is anyone from the chair and anyone from the board that would like to attend,
I would
please
love
let
to.
me know.
As a new board member, I think it would be wonderful to learn, for sure. I wouldn't mind taking a couple of days to go and do that. It will make me serve this better.
I participated a few years ago. It's an amazing event. I heartily recommend that everyone who can go, if we can afford it, if we can do it, goes, because what they have just so many unique subjects that wouldn't come to mind and that don't brush across us in Delray so often. And it's a chance to really learn what's going on in the world.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Jewel, if you want to go and the rest of the board members are fine with it, I'm
fine with it. I've been before. It was awesome, and it's great to speak with and work with other cities everyone's dealing with the same problem, whether it's the unhoused, whether it's picking up dog poop, whether it's all the issues that these urban type places have, from Seattle to Kansas, and it's I got a lot from it, and again,
That's
kudos
great.
to you for wanting to go, and if anyone else we have budget, I'd suggest you check it out if you haven't.
Definitely. If there's the opportunity, I would love to.
Great.
What are the dates again?
Is there consensus? I mean,
24th through the
do we need that
27th.
even?
24th.
No, I don't need it. If we have budget and it's
Okay.
already been approved, then if anyone wants to go.
Just let me know. You can take a look at it and let me know.
Yeah, it
So-
was really cool. We did ours in
I'll
Chicago.
forward you the link so you can take a look at the curriculum. I'll send to everybody. They also, if you can go in for a day, there's like a
DC will
full-
be interesting these days too, because you're coming in
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're dealing with all the people that manage the city now with everything happening. I'm sure
Right.
they'll have some interesting.
Yeah, they do it. So an immersive. There's a lot of immersive, tours and things that you could do. So, and we'll get ahead of it next year. So when they announce, they'll announce where it is, so we can look at it ahead of time, so we can maybe plan for something different next year. So. And also just wanted to also provide to the board, I know I sent to everyone, and I'll provide you again, just some, because things were brought up at our last meeting by the mayor, and I wanted just to provide you all with, and also the mayor, just some responses to those comments. So we prepared this document, so I wanted just to hand this out to you all so you have that. And that is all.
Board members?
Any board member comments? And we're going to take a 2-minute break in between this and the next meeting, so everybody can hit the restroom and whatever else. Stretch their legs if you're old and beat up like me.
Is there any board comments?
That's what I'm.
You talking about the budget meeting?
Mayor, do you have any comments down there?
I have no comments.
Cole?
No comments. No.
Al?
Yeah, well, being as I read this before, so many people question our budget, how we operate, and I think the results speak for themselves. I think that obviously Laura documented item by item things that were questioned, but the manner in which we operate with our promotion at the Old School Square, bringing in groups and housing them and taking care of them is a remarkable effort by Daniel Hartwell. I think he's done an excellent job. I think that people question amounts of salaries and amounts of compensation for all people. You know, lawyers make too much money, doctors make too much money, everybody makes too much money to anyone who's not in their field. And Daniel Hartwell is a promoter. He's a promoter for musical groups. And we entered into the Old School Square as a taxing authority that operated business interest in the city and not as a promotional group. And Daniel Hartwell stepped up, and he's done an admirable job of delivering high-quality entertainment at what I think has been very affordable prices for a nonprofit organization that can't afford to charge much for our events, and so much is free, that we've put on quality entertainment. We've been given international awards, and I think that the manner in which the DDA spends the funds that are allocated by the city, which although they're substantial, they're much less than we budgeted for and which we asked for last year and the year before. Laura and the team have done an amazing job of delivering the art museum and the campus items and events. I don't think I have.
How do you really feel, Al?
I don't have enough words to say it all. I'm going to quit there and tell you I'm so proud of it, and I think it's just so world class, done by a group of people who weren't trained for it and who stepped up, put together the business plan, and delivered year after year now successfully. And what it's done for the city, not just for the Old School Square property, but in terms of 30% increase in my business every time there's an event, things like that, besides the cultural events. Did I do enough?
I think so,
Did
Brian.
I say enough? I really mean it, I really feel it, and I'm so proud to be part of it. Thank you.
I don't think I have anything to say. I think the team's doing a great job. And Suzanne, we go through your presentation so fast. It's a lot. We do a lot over here. And again, it's awesome. So glad to be a part of the team, and just want to keep trying to get the work done.
Aaron? George? Andrew, I'm sorry. Anthony. I'm so caught up with the barbers out of Boca Raton that I can't understand it.
I don't know if I met them. I'm good. I have no comments. Yeah, I'm good.
I just put a mint in my mouth. Okay. One of the things that I was going to say is I think that you're doing an excellent job with the money that you have allocated to you. And I think that there is a demand. I mean, I know I get approached all the time about, are we bringing back Fashion Week? And are we spending money on those things because people miss those kinds of events and things like that? And I think if we were to reintroduce that, which was award-winning year after year, that's a need for more money and things like that. So I'm super happy, super proud. I don't think that you are, I think you're doing an excellent job.
I'd like to say a couple of quick things. One is thank you for putting me in as chairman. I didn't expect it coming in today. Actually had reservations at first, but I'm going to do my best to make everybody proud. With that said, I think that the DDA has done a great job. If there's ways that we can improve and do things better, I'm always for that, any way, shape, or form. If there's things that need to be corrected or whatever else, I'm for that as well. I think it's very important. I think Brian and Cole say it on a regular basis that we have a more open, better relationship with the city, with so forth, so that we can all, we're on the same team, let me put it that way. We're all on the same team for the same purpose, same goals out there and so forth. And if we can all work together, I think it would be a wonderful thing for everybody involved. And if there's stuff that I can do as the new chairman to help that out, by all means, I will make myself available. And I thank you very much.
If you don't mind, I want to jump back on. I would like to your point. I think it's an enormous opportunity to be able to collaborate with you. And I think we would welcome that tremendously. I think sometimes there are meetings that we're not part of, or it's not required that we're there. And so sometimes because of work or whatever it is, prior engagements, sometimes we miss them. And when I can come, I do. But sometimes I miss it, and might be a nice thing for us to recap some things that you feel we might be able to do to help you, and or to be able to be an asset to the city. And that way we're collaborating and we're working together, and we have a common goal where we know what it is that you'd like, and we can work toward that together. I also don't know, and I don't know if this is an appropriate question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Because, which I do, I ask them anyway, so you just have to get used to it. But because you're not voting, there are times where I know we're not allowed by the by our sort of rule exactly to communicate with one another outside of this. But it'd be wonderful to be able to get an education from your office, to be able to make an appointment, to be able to come in and to be able to say, how can we help? Is there anything that we can do? And I don't know if that's allowed.
It's not.
Okay.
Well, it depends.
Thank you.
I mean, we can. May I reply? Being someone who's
Mayor, please go ahead.
Taken 3 courses for the Florida Bar with respect to the scope of the Sunshine Law. There are things you can and you can't do under the Sunshine Law. You certainly can't talk about anything you're going to vote on. But if you're allowed to make inquiries into general kinds of questions about, what about this, what about that, as long as you're not going to vote on it.
Okay.
Because I couldn't say to you, I would like you to be, I want to talk about this, but if I want to talk to you about something that maybe is a DDA activity, but we're not voting on it, you just have to be really careful that you're not putting yourself in a position of something that you could vote on, to inquiries into general things about what the organization does, or things such as that, or how's it been in the past, and things such as that. You're allowed to ask. But it's difficult for me because I'm under the Sunshine Law with the city, so I can't go to Tom Markert back there and say, geez, Tom, we really ought to be thinking about doing this. Because at some point, even though that's a general question, we may be thinking about doing this, we could theoretically, 2 months from now, it becomes an agenda item. And then you say, well, have you ever spoken about it? Well, yeah, a couple of months ago we had a general conversation. So you avoid those in all the cases that you can. And the same would apply here. When I first joined this board, I was educated by this DDA attorney that and I will tell you, the city attorney made the same error. We both thought that because I was ex officio, somehow I wasn't subject to the rule. I am subject to the rule.
Right.
So, and he told us that at the very first meeting when I was sitting down here bantering with Aaron. So even though we weren't discussing a thing we were going to vote on, he reminded us of what the rule is. So you have to be very careful. But I'm happy generally to ask, if you want to ask any questions about what's the city think about this or do about that, or I'm a wealth of historical knowledge, maybe not as much as Laura, but I would say in this room I'm certainly second to Laura in terms of the historical knowledge.
Okay. It's for the same reason that I'd like to attend in DC. It's to learn so that I can be more useful. And so sometimes I have questions or would like to know the thoughts of the city on certain things, or direction of things, and so forth, and how we might be able to help in that way.
Provided it's within the scope and the parameters that we've just discussed, I'm happy to do that. But I will, if it's an item we would have to vote on, You know,
I get it.
And you can talk about things you already voted on. You can,
My only
those kinds of things.
comment
you can talk about.
would be that if we bring it up at the city commission meeting and public comment, stuff like that, it's probably not an issue, correct?
But again, if your public comment included something that you were saying, let's discuss whether, and on the Deus I can say anything, even though it may be an item in front of the city commission, but you know, you're talking about, you know, we are going to be talking about parking. I mean, we are fashioning this thing with under this pilot program, but it's going to be tweaked a lot. We're all going to have suggestions. We're all going to be this. So, to the extent that I would only say here, I think we should do this. I wouldn't say to you outside of the meeting, I think we should do this.
Right.
It's a very delicate.
I just want to always err on the caution side, just because of the fact I was always told you can't say reply to all when you're attending a meeting for fear that someone would know you're actually attending the meeting and a vote could go one way or the other.
Again, it's the nature of what you're replying to. If it's an invitation to an event, you know, I'm
told
to go.
Always
but
only
I'm saying,
reply to one.
but if it's someone like when I wrote to you all, I specifically want to do not reply, because I was expressing an opinion. I wasn't giving something. I was expressing a viewpoint that may or may not have become a discussion item, and therefore I would say, please do not reply. And I ran it through. I mean, when I write to my own city commission, as they will tell you, I write through the city attorney and I say, please send it on, because I wanted a clearinghouse, so to speak, to make sure, A, what I'm saying is okay to say, and B, that it goes through a process not directly from me.
I guess when in doubt, check with Quentin. So
I will check with
When really in doubt,
Yes.
you don't say anything. But I mean, but the point is, there are subjects. But I would encourage. There are courses that you can take, and I, you know, in the old days when I first was on the CRA board back in 2006, we took a course on the Sunshine Law. It was kind of new. You know, there was this hasn't been. It's evolved over the years in terms of how sophisticated it can get, and.
Yeah, I've been through half a dozen of them.
There are courses.
Wow.
See, I don't need a microphone. Can anybody still hear me? So my point is,
Meeting adjourned.
Wow.
you would be well served to have a workshop and bringing in someone to just talk about what the Sunshine Law is, particularly because you have some new members.
Yep.
You're
Yeah.
a new member, essentially. You're a new member. You're a new
I've
member.
been through this.
I would find
You're
it
an old
helpful.
member.
I've done it at least
You're-
half
he's-
dozen
you're-
times. So
I would
Yeah,
find
I've-
it helpful.
I'm saying I think you
Yeah.
should really talk about doing it so you have a general, because they give
I've-
you
I've-
examples.
We will.
I've provided
Okay.
that training for many of elected official, so I can do that.
I don't care who does it.
No,
I'm
I
just saying.
understand. It's
And your firm certainly has a wealth of knowledge.
absolutely.
do we want to keep moving to another board?
We have to
meeting,
adjourn
you know,
this one
right?
first, and you might want to take a couple minutes. Just
2-minute break. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Let me start there.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, 2 minutes.
You know, Quentin, you know, I've known Sam Gorn for like
Kiss him. I'm not kissing. We don't all have to.
Yep.
Anthony, I apologize. I called you Andrew. I called you.
Unmute us.
Well,
If you hit the gavel,
I'd like to call the second half of the Downtown Development Authority meeting here to discuss the millage, I believe, that's the budget and so forth. And without further ado, Laura? Are you
yes.
ready? Oh, roll call, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Cole Devitt,
Here.
Alan Costello,
here.
Brian Rosen,
Here.
Aaron Ollie Burton,
Here.
Anthony Barber,
Here.
Jill Goyardi,
Here.
Jim Knight.
Here, and the mayor will be right in.
Great. All right. So, Chair and members of the board, today is our budget meeting, where we're going to we'll present the budget for the fiscal year 25-26, which is our which begins October 1st. This is our Downtown Development Authority budget that needs to be formally approved by this board. On the 3rd of September, we did present to at our budget hearing at City Commission, and was a preliminary approval of the 1 mil, so which will fund our operations. So I'm going to walk you through quickly. I don't have the clicker. Do you want me to do the clicking?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have your microphone on?
Yes,
Laura?
Suzanne, is there a sensitivity button there?
Oh, public
No, you
comments.
just have to speak.
Oh, so with
you have
that,
to put your
They
mouth
seem
to
like
it.
They're not being.
You're just so far
All right.
away. You
I
gotta come
apologize.
closer.
Is there
Yeah.
any public comment wishing to speak on this item? If so, please come up to the dais, state your name and address for the record, and limit your time to 1 minute. No, kidding. 3 minutes.
Okay, Mavis Benson, 800 Greenswood Court. I'm here to share a letter that I did not get to share at last week's commission meeting. My name is Bonnie Beer, and I am a past DDA board member from 2012 to 2019. I am also a managing partner of Cafe Luna Rosa since 2000, as well as a past resident in downtown Delray Beach from 1997 to 2006. Being in the city as both a resident and business owner, I have seen the exponential growth in downtown over the last 28 years. With this growth comes challenges such as parking, cleanliness, safety, and keeping business owners informed of any changes in the everyday schedule. The DDA has done exactly that. Laura and her team work tirelessly to keep the businesses notified of the issues that may affect them. The DDA started the Clean and Safe program, which has worked with the police department to deal with some of the crime and homelessness in the city. As the city gets more visitors, more crime is unfortunately imminent. Having the Clean and Safe program is a great way to help combat this problem, as we want to make our visitors, business owners, and residents feel safe in Delray Beach. In addition to the above mentioned, the DDA also created many events to not only help the local community, but to also bring awareness to others how amazing Delray Beach is. Savor the Avenue, Art and Jazz, Fashion Week, Restaurant Month are some of these events. These events have become known throughout the state and show the uniqueness and vitality of our downtown. I truly believe that any financial cuts affecting the DDA would be doing a disservice to our city. Thank you for your time. Respectfully, Bonnie Beer. And I just continue to message to you as a board to continue to feel confident in every decision, always and is always made above board and always with fiscal responsibility, that every dollar is accounted for and every program is tied to a mission and every effort is directed at making our downtown stronger. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? If so, please come forward and name and address for the record. And you've got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Moved up from a minute. James O'Connor with, I live at 120 Southwest First Avenue. Also a business owner. I was able to convince my ownership to move our headquarters to Delray Beach on 2nd Avenue. We are Ticket Socket. I manage that company, and we are helping out Laura, so just to be honest and above board. We help Laura with the ticketing at Old School Square and with the museum as well. I've been a resident here now for 8 years. Wow. And before that, went to all the events that were held downtown, since I can walk right downtown. And it makes the city, to all my friends, think I live in a dream world. Quote unquote. Most of my friends think we're in a movie set. How picturesque our town is and how fun everything's. There's always, as they say, always something happening. So I just would like to say the budget I would approve as a citizen and as a business owner. That keeps the culture going, keeps the party going. And that's a good thing for the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Any other public comment? Seeing no one come forward, the public comment is closed.
Great. All right, so I'm going to walk through the budget. You all have received the backup detailed budget as well. But first, we're just going to go through, if you want to go to the next slide. Just a little, again, reminder to our community of the Downtown Development Authority. We are a special taxing district. We can levy at a maximum at 1 mill tax levy. And we have been for over 30 years. We were established in 1971. Our main programs and responsibilities are the place management, our marketing. We are the only marketing arm for the city and the downtown, economic development programs and events. So this is just to give you a comparison from our current year, which is 24-25, and our comparison of 25-26. What has our value continues to increase. A lot of that you can see is from the net new construction value from the property appraiser's office. So looking at a huge increase this past year on new development, new construction. So there is an increase into the operating budget based on the value increase, as you can see here, which equates to the operating, our operating budget would be $2,037,998. So next slide. Just again, a map, as you know, of our district. So hopefully this is where the parking will be, but the employee parking. But this, as you can see, we pull these numbers, our 11,000 employees and business owners in our downtown area, our commercial properties. All of this is we're pulling from our Placer AI data as well as our Ginkgo data. So breaking it up in our buckets, we have placemaking, economic development, or vitality, and marketing. Those are our 3 main areas. Just a reminder, as you all met back in June at our workshop together to develop our priorities with our team for the coming year, heavy focused on the clean and safe and beautification and the ambiance, if you will, of our downtown as it relates. And some of the things in that area were also around the parking and the marketing of the parking and proposal of off-season rates. Big thing for economic development, just if you go back, just the strategic planning. So we really are focused, need to update our strategic plan. We need a plan to help guide us in where we're headed as our organization grows, as our downtown grows. We need to have that plan. As well as marketing and the engagement with our downtown stakeholders, both commercial and residential stakeholders. That is really a big push for us this year, and we've already started planning for those meetings and outreach with them as well. And then obviously the launch of our new website, which is going to be a tremendous asset for everyone, both the consumer as well as our business owners. So really looking for that. And then operationally, again, enhancing our internal processes, both on our process and platforms as well as our operations, both really heavily focusing on our financial administrative responsibilities of process and policy. So moving to the next slide, just a high level of our revenues that we be working with. We did, based on feedback from the board from the last meeting, was to account for potential sponsorships or revenues that would come in addition to. So we've projected an estimate kind of on the low side. We've done pretty well over the past couple of years in our history to exceed 60,000. So we wanted to start with an estimate of 44, and hopefully we can obviously bring in more as we move forward. Next slide, please. This gives you, based on our expenses, comparison between this current year and what we propose for the coming year. Looking at slight modifications, most of our expenses for the coming year will be in our place management and economic development arena, a little bump in our marketing. But you will also see in the grants comparison, so this 24-25, we have $30,000 allotted for the camera program for the police department, and that still is there, and that is, we're working with the police team to see if there is still use for those $30,000 in funds, if not, to carry that forward if potentially for if a need in the future. But in 25 and 26, we didn't allot for that yet, but we did increase the placemaking grant to $20,000 and have some plans to maybe rework that grant program for and opening up more of an economic development opportunity. So moving forward, outlining our marketing. The Downtown Delray Beach website, these costs are in there are really for hosting and other upgrades or any monthly fees that are associated with the new website. Graphic design, which is design elements for all things for downtown marketing, as well as any type of other graphics designs that we need for other programs that we do. Public relations, which is all around our, again, back to our marketing for downtown is downtown marketing. It's not DDA. It's all about promoting the destination, the location. Everything that happens here is our events. All that we advertise for this is just really, again, we're the DMO, which is the destination marketing arm for the community. Visitor Information Center, this is the operations expense in the Visitor Information Center, as well as any type of administrative needs that are there. This does not include the Shelley or the staff that actually runs the Visitor Information Center. We moved that into payroll last year. So next, economic vitality, events and programs is $195,000 projected for. I have a more detailed slide next, but just which we can go into business development, and this is our business navigation. So this includes the guidebook, downtown guidebook that we'll have provide to each business owner that helps navigate through city ordinances, along with support for onboarding new businesses or helping guide current businesses through the process, which has been brought up by our past board members. Our data management programs that are essential for navigating or understanding more about how the downtown is used, our Placer AI and our Ginkgo platforms, which is a CM customer management based. Basically, it's our property management based database. And then our strategic plan, we allotted $15,000 for a consultant to guide and work with our stakeholders to develop this course of this year a strategic plan. And that's an estimate, so we would go out for bids for those as well. And then again, back to the placemaking and activation grant, we allotted $20,000 for that.
Can I ask about the strategic plan? Is that like a 5-year plan? Is that
it's a 5-year plan?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this outlines our events that we do. So art and jazz on the Avenue. This current year we did 4. We are looking at to scale that back to 3. Based on the third one's on Atlantic Avenue. So the fourth one we're doing this year is on Atlantic Avenue. Atlantic Avenue from Swinton to Federal Highway sees a great number of events already. So to scale that back and potentially bring back additional events that have been brought up. We did have a town hall meeting on the 13th, and to have the survey feedback from different style of events. So that also just looking at where they're performing better in the art and jazz events. We do First Friday Art Walk. So we do that's a monthly program with our galleries and studios throughout the downtown, and it happens the first Friday of every month. And we do a lot. So we have sometimes entertainment that we'll put around in different locations throughout the town, handouts. We have also staff that works that as well. So other things that are allotted around there, maps, guides for this event. Small Business Saturday is the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so we put some efforts around activations for that day, which is obviously 95% of our businesses in downtown are small, so that's a huge holiday for us to focus on. Savor the Avenue, our culinary signature traditional dining event, that is happening March 23rd. On Atlantic Avenue again. It's the 17th year, and we are working now with the restaurant signups, and we'll be bringing more forward at the beginning of the December. Orchid giveaway is in May. That is a retail promotion. Restaurant month, as you know, you just heard a lot about that. That's been very, very good for the group, for our downtown. We have 144 restaurants now in our downtown area, which is over about 25 over opened up in the past 4 years. So that is significant, and that number, there are some that aren't online yet, but those are, it's a pretty large number. So driving traffic to those restaurants and those businesses year round, because we aren't a 12-month city. So keeping in mind that these programs are meant to continue bringing people to our downtown. And then again, the Summer of Love or Love Del Rey, our summer programming, that's a huge focus because, as we know, and we've heard several times today, is that we're back to the seasonal reality of summer. So what can we do? So we're strategizing with our hotel partners and what we can do for summer and our county partners to see more of what we can do to help lift up summer. So next slide, placemaking. So placemaking is our operations or our place around the place. So you can see our Downtown Safety Ambassador Program is at that $340,000 mark. It's a 7-day-a-week program. We have 2 ambassadors, 2 different patrol times from Sunday to Thursday, and then on Friday we have 4 ambassadors during the evening, and they go to 11 p.m. So that program has been tremendous and doing really, really well. There's definitely always room for enhancements, and we'll look to help educate and bring more reporting mechanisms to you all as a board as we go forward this coming year. Our street pole banner program, we're going to be implementing holiday banners as well as additional welcome banners this year. Holiday lighting and year-round lighting. We have new lighting coming in for Pineapple Grove because these lights that we do in the decorative lighting last 3 to 5 years. So we are at that mark of bringing on new lighting for the different neighborhoods. We just did the West Atlantic Avenue, the Swinton to Federal Highways. Also, the oak trees need new lighting, as well as Pineapple Grove. So that is that number also and then our holiday lighting that we are going to be doing lighting from December, really from Thanksgiving all the way through January. So we decorate the downtown area. Beautification, that number encompasses our litter abatement. We have the kiosk signage, parking. So we did put some money around parking communications and enhancements there based on a lot of the new parking and elements that are coming out to support the city and market the parking and help communicate that, as well as our public art. So public art in Pineapple Grove, we have that responsibility to manage and oversee the public art under Maruska's leadership, to really keep that and maintain that art, as well as strategize and implement new art. So that is part of our plan for this year, as well as looking at the cleanliness and supporting and working with our city partners on pressure spraying and more around the beautification, landscaping. They implemented potted plants, 10 potted plant on Atlantic Avenue, so to potentially to support that program as well with additional potted plants. Libby Wesley Plaza, Worthing Park, and Veterans Park are our three main parks in our downtown, and we did add Libby Wesley Plaza as a line item in our budget last year. We have put in new lighting in there, and we're looking at amenities as we move forward, for both of those parks, Worthing Park and Libby Plaza, and working closely with the city to see how we can bring those locations, give them more energy, more life. Worthing Park was redone probably 12 years ago, and we're at that point of looking at how do we upgrade that. And then the Veterans Park planning. So again, Palm Square, the Palm Trail Neighborhood Association did reach out to us and they really have a strong investment in what to do, what they want to see with Veterans Park, and came to us to see how we can help and working with the city in the future of what that Veterans Park is going to look like. So that is something that we hope that we can work with them on. So operations. So the big changes in our operations going forward are really around our contracted operations. So bookkeeping, the legal, other areas. So that's really the big change this coming year. So nothing other than that is significant. We've been forecasted neutral, but really looking at ramping up our financial administration area, because right now we're working with an outside firm, so looking at bringing in inside support for that area, considering that especially with what we're growing with as an operation. And so then moving on to the next slide, that's it. So this budget, I'm happy to answer questions, go through more detail. This is nothing significantly changed that based on from our last meeting, other than, really it's just now we want to formalize what from you all as a board, formalize the approval of the budget as we go forward. Next Monday on the 15th is the second or the final budget hearing with the city, where they will finalize the millage rate and the city budget.
Thank you, Laura. I would just like to clarify that this is a recommendation only from us. It's the city that has the ultimate discretion, correct?
That's for the millage. We're not talking about millage at all.
Okay.
Just the budget. You all have a vote on the budget because you can determine the priorities of the organization. So we had these budget workshops in the summer about what your priorities were with the placemaking, the different buckets. So this is in your purview to approve this item. The millage is separate discussion, and we're not talking about millage.
Okay, I wanted to confirm that so I understood correctly here. So a couple of comments that I have. I think it's been a common theme. West Atlantic, which is not West Atlantic, east of I-95. And is an area that we've really been wanting to push and see things happen and so forth. And as the chair, I would continue to advocate for that significantly, so we can have some more activity out that direction. I think it's really important now that Sunday Village is about open. I don't know whether it's open yet or not. I think it's close. It is open now?
They're moving in. The vertical bridge is moving in their office.
So, but the restaurants and things like that still not. They're still
not yet.
Work in progress, so forth. So, hopefully, we can take advantage and utilize that to keep pushing that further and further towards I-95 and close that gap to where we have thriving businesses both on the east of 95 and east of the ocean. So, thank you. And Jules.
One of I got to your point. I don't know whether or not this has ever come up in the past, as far as east of 95, but has anyone ever put forth a carnival festival, or because it's a very artistic, wonderful way to celebrate that area and then kind of take it through town. Has that ever been anything that Del Rey has ever entertained?
A carnival? No, not at,
Wasn't there
not
some-
on
You're talking about like Carnival, like the
Carnival.
There's
We did the
something at
Caribbean
Old School Square,
Festival.
wasn't there?
We've done the Caribbean Festival, the Bahamian Festival. Frog Alley Festival that is something that we've done on the street and in Frog Alley.
Was it successful? Was it not
It was.
successful? It
Mhm.
was. And it wasn't something that we decided to continue, or?
Because it was more of a community event, which is something that we were looking at, and also on Fifth Avenue, just trying to get more businesses involved in that. So I
Mhm.
think that it was pre-COVID. So, and then art and jazz evolved out of COVID.
Mhm.
So that is something that could come back. We are implementing. We're calling it the Sounds of the Set with the Northwest Southwest Coalition and Blackmore's Market. We're going to be doing bi-monthly activations on Libby Plaza with neighborhood entertainers and some other just like after work programming. So some small activations that potentially could. But looking into the Caribbean Festival, it could be something as usual.
Yeah, I mean, I bring it up. I also sit on the board of directors of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, and I lived there for 12 years and participated in a lot of the many of the different countries' carnivals. And so there's a lot of artistic elements that actually could incorporate and merge Libby Park with the other parts of Del Rey and have everyone involved as a cultural experience. I'd love to have a conversation about that because I think that could be really fun.
Okay, thank you.
Wasn't there something about when the Hatcher building was being knocked down, the area, a carnival on the property because there's so much open green grass right now? There was a conversation about something a few years ago.
Utilizing the ground the vacant lots for other events.
I think it was literally a circus traveling carnival new concept for that area.
I think we're talking about a little bit different than that.
I am. I'm talking about. One of the. Not that I want to get into it because it could derail and go into a totally different conversation. But for 8 years in a row, I participated in Trinidad's carnival. It's the second largest carnival outside of Rio, and it is probably one of the most interesting, artistic, cultural, cuisine. I mean, everything is involved, and it's fantastic. And it wasn't just for the Trinidadians and the Tobagonians and for the Bahamians. It was for everyone. I mean, it's the one time of year where every single tourist comes into town and they put on full costume and they try the cuisine and they line together and they do all of these different things, and it really is a cross-cultural wonderful experience. Exactly. Yeah. And I think if it were done right and it were all inclusive and really we encourage the participation of everyone, it could be such a huge hit. So it's something that I'd love to have a conversation about, because I think it's if we're not doing it, it's something that maybe we're really overlooking an opportunity there. And we have such an artsy town. And so many great costume designers and things like that I think it could be great bringing in some fashion.
Awesome.
It's not an action item, but I vote for it.
Great. Anyone else? Al?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Is it going to me?
Aaron, nothing? Brian, nothing? Al?
Alan, something. I was fortunate enough to be on the board, I guess it was about 5 years ago, when the pilot program was started for the safety ambassadors. It was $62,000 that year, and it was a big portion of our budget. And the whole plan was that we would show a success, hopefully, and we would go to the city and the CRA to help fund the substantial increase so we could increase the time the ambassadors were on the street, increase the area of the ambassadors, and increase the amount of time they spend on the street. And nobody else stepped up, and the DDA stepped up. And as our budget grew, we plunged a lot of money into the ambassadors. And there's still a need to grow the ambassador program, both in distance and in time they spend on the street. They're more well received than I ever could have imagined. It's a great program. It does wonderful work. We work with the police and the fire department. And if this budget is approved and if we can find room, I would love to think that any extra funds that can somehow appear could be channeled, funneled, directed into growing either the numbers of the ambassadors or the distance or the time or any of the three, if possible. And otherwise, I think the budget is great. And did I mention how proud I was of how you operate? I am. I really am. Thank you.
Cole?
I'm all set.
Mayor?
I think that they've done great work with the money they had this year. I think they should try to have the same money next year and not increase the budget. We can have discussion on a point-by-point basis of the value of each of the components. As a collective, it's a very good product. But as people are tightening their belt for increased insurance and everything else, the small gesture from the DDA to at least reduce the taxes of the residential people in this neighborhood, and we can argue which percentages are paid by which. That's my view. And last year we did not include the DDA in what we did with the city. We rolled back the city's budget. We left the DDA alone, where they had a nice hefty increase last year. And I just believe that this year we're only talking $100,000. It's not a lot of money, as everybody says. It is to me, but it's not apparently not to the government. And I think it's a very small gesture, but I think the people would get a $40 break would say to you they'd rather have the $40 than have the DDA get the $40. So that's my view. I just think while everybody else is trying to roll back, I think it's a very good gesture showing that you're trying to work with the taxpayers instead of just taking everything you can take. Because as I said, the city has the ability to go up 10 mills. We don't. Because just because you can go to 10 doesn't mean you go to 10. Just because you can go to 1 doesn't mean you go to 1. That's my opinion.
Thank you for your comments. Do I have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve the budget.
Mm-hmm.
I make that motion.
Second.
Cole David,
Yes.
Alan Costello,
Yes.
Brian Rosen,
Yes.
Aaron Halliburton,
Yes.
Joe Gagliardi,
Yes.
Jim Knight,
Yes.
and Anthony Barber is not present.
Thank you. All
I'll
right.
get you in the rain.
Gonna get soaked now.
It was bad before. I think it's calmed down a bit.
Yeah, it's calmed down a ton.
All right, so we don't have it. Yes.
Meeting, have motion to adjourn, please.
Second.
Yes.
Thank you.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
It is much more